In Season 2, Chapter 27, Scrollmates. We arrived in Kukati Cove without the company of our cleric, who in an effort to clear his head, had sought solitude once we left the dangers of the Roper Mountains behind us. Graven promised his absence would be a brief one, and in the meantime, the rest of us could relax and resupply in the last real settlement before taking our talents to the Isthmus of Richter for a rendezvous with Pockets. The ocean breeze was a nice change of pace from the frigid winds of the Sky Bowl, but the citizens of Kukati weren't as warm as the weather, and it quickly became apparent that most services were off limits until we could be vetted by the town's de facto leader, someone that they all just referred to as manager. Heading down to the docks, we entered an office that looked more like a workshop and had to curb our collective surprise when we found ourselves face to face with a Warforged, an incredibly rare hybrid of organic and inorganic elements that comprised a fully sentient and independent being. Not looking to waste any time, Manager explained that he'd come into possession of the mirrored inscription page that we were here to claim from Phaedra Spooner. Before handing it over, however, he wanted our help, and despite our bristling at the thought of jumping through yet another hoop for this item that had already caused us considerable trouble, he made the decision easier by sweetening the deal. A ship bound for Dillasoon had made an emergency stop in the nearby Hylata harbor, a grave mistake born of the ignorance that the port was overrun by dangerous creatures of the sea. Manager desired a particular scroll that was being transported on this ship, and if we helped him get aboard, we could help ourselves to any other valuables left behind. After exhausting our supplies in the fight with the Coldlight Walker, this seemed like a good opportunity to replenish our coffers, so we set off east along the shore, with the hopes that not everything worth taking had already been scavenged. About halfway to the harbor, we came across a malnourished man in sailor's attire along the beach, perhaps a castaway from the very ship we were looking to investigate. We failed to convince him that we meant no harm, and he responded by disturbing some nearby marrows to distract us. But while the party dealt with the aquatic threats, Manager chased the man down and struck a killing blow. Relatively unscathed, thanks to good prioritization and Manager's army of summoned crocodiles, we continued on to Hylata, which even from a distance had an eerie stillness about it, the calm occasionally broken up by scion sightings that promised to be an ever tougher test if we couldn't find a way around them. Luckily, Manager came prepared with the water walk spell that allowed us to take a direct route to the ship rather than pass through the deserted remains of the town, and as quietly as possible we climbed the hull to begin our search. Splitting up between the captain's quarters and below deck, we found a grim scene of slaughter, but no sign of the scroll we'd come to collect until we opened the door to one of the ship's storerooms. Inside, a gravely injured crew member was clutching the scroll in one hand and had a tinderbox in the other, a worrisome sight given that he was crouched beside barrels of black powder meant for use with the ship's cannons. By offering up a couple of healing potions, we lured him out of hiding and pounced when he was safely away from the explosives, knocking him out and providing Manager with his prized possession. Having avoided blowing the ship to smithereens, we had time to search the vessel for loot without pressing our luck too much, and afterwards we dashed back to safety across the bay without alerting the creatures along the shore. On the way back to Kukati, Manager divulged to us that the scroll was a list of war criminals from decades prior, a list that he was included on because of a contentious relationship he'd had with his former master. All in all, we felt that we'd made out pretty well for what amounted to a half day's work. And as we returned to town, now with Manager's approval to conduct business there, we asked ourselves, with no obvious way to receive a written response, how could we utilize the mirrored inscription page to get in touch with Bramar? What were the sparkling orbs that Orba had recovered from the ship's storage? And when we meet back up with Graven, will he be a man changed for the better? We find out now on Season 2, Chapter 28 of A Peek Beneath the Veil.
Fully embrace Kuzma.
Level 17.
Yeah, level.
Comes back.
Oh, God.
Suddenly, Kukati Cove feels like a different place. Still the same claustrophobia-inducing narrow walkways, and still the same acrophobia-inducing steep decline down toward the docks. But the people no longer disregard your presence, and the sideways glances of mistrust have turned to watchful eyes of curiosity. When your captive woke on your return trip, Manager might have preferred that you grant him a quick death, but he didn't argue when you set the sailor free, and it didn't stop him from keeping his word, leading you to believe that the castaway was unlikely to do much harm without the scroll in his possession. Manager made plans to leave town for about a day to hand off his precious parchment to a trusted friend, but before he left, he saw to your needs and accommodations. From a drawer in his office, he retrieved the mirrored inscription page. A folded piece of parchment with a floral border. And no writing etched upon it.
Poetry.
So simple in its design and so plain in a way that doesn't betray the magic that lies within.
Stop, it's so pink. Oh my god.
It's phallus time, baby.
Is it scented?
Yes, it's scented.
He handed over 2 unused healing potions from your trip and promised that the rest of your requests would be fulfilled in short order. There was a house on the eastern slope of Kukati that wasn't currently occupied. Manager promised that in a half hour, someone would fetch you and take you to this home that was yours to use until tomorrow morning. It's now that you wait along the boardwalk, overlooking the harbor, staring out at the larger ships that float beyond in deeper waters. By her feet, Orba has the 2 boxes that she took from the below-deck storage room, waiting patiently until she has a bit of privacy before examining the contents further. There's no sign of Graven yet, but it's still early enough in the day that there's no reason to worry, instead allowing yourselves to take in the sounds of the sea and ruminate on what the next steps are as you take the less traveled road east toward the Isthmus of Rikra and Finmont Forest. So you guys are right down on that last little boardwalk before the water. Manager's office is on your left. He's already left, so you saw him go in, got you the page, told you someone would come get you, and he's headed out. He grabbed a horse and started to ride.
And he agreed to send my letter to
He did agree, yes. All the accommodations that you guys requested have been said that would be taken care of.
He rolled his eyes really hard, though.
So you guys are standing there kind of just on the boardwalk waiting for someone to come get you. So you have a moment here just standing up.
I was just kind of...
What do you think the flowers are for?
I'm sure the other side of the page also has flowers.
No, but what are they for?
Romance.
Yeah, to like set the mood.
So that when they write poetry to each other, it seems romantic.
Well, I thought the poetry was supposed to do that bit.
But one hangs
The
paintings...
poetry needs to be assisted by the flowers. I think
One
the poetry's
hangs
back.
paintings in pretty rooms.
Yeah, but
It's a metaphor.
both of you are just so weird.
Do you know what you're gonna write?
Yeah, what are you gonna write?
Oh, come on, you gotta tell us. I can't wait to see.
I think I need, given everything we've found out about what he's done, I think I need to try and get in touch with him.
Well, yeah,
Personally, in person.
well, but what are you gonna write?
Yeah, that's not
That doesn't answer the question.
Is there a place where I can kind of put it down and take it?
There's like a railing on the, off before you get to
Quill?
the water. Yeah.
Is that how you do it? Just with a normal quill?
Oh yeah, it didn't come with a special quill or anything.
No, you just. Oh, how would
How do
you
you
erase?
erase it?
How would you erase stuff in?
Oh no!
Like when Marvin Bishop was writing to me, like
Yes.
it would go away.
Yes, it would, but you don't know how he did that. He
How
licked
do
the
you,
page.
is there a magical way of writing things that you can erase it?
Would I know how it works?
With some time, perhaps, to sit and study, you might be able to, as if you were identifying something, you might be able to discern the intricacies of it, but you don't know that offhand, because this spell is relatively rare.
If you want me to take a look at it when we're in our, private quarters, I can examine it.
That would be good. I don't want to write something on it permanently.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like a scribble, and then you can't get it off.
so are you gonna start like pretending, that you're his former flame?
I don't want.
You
to,
could trick him.
I don't want to put him off. So yes, I think I will pretend to be Tessa at first.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
What's your best idea? Come on, lay it on us. It's a
I'll
haiku.
have to, no, I'm not. I don't want to. He can't communicate with me. Tessa Pleasant's destroyed.
She zeroed out her hard drive.
She marked Grimoire as spam.
Control Z, baby.
Tessa Pleasant's destroyed. Tessa Pleasant's destroyed the page that Grimari could communicate with her on, so I can
So
only...
wait, so you can only send him a message?
Yes, and
Well, I'm assuming he's a powerful wizard. He can do sending.
he's
He can
not
probably...
a wizard. He's
Well, I'm sure he can get a
he's
message.
an alchemist. I would hope
Does
that...
he have money or something? He can't send like a page. I
It
don't know.
depends on how he's been doing the last several
I
years.
suppose he's been on the run, so maybe
He
not.
could be... We do assume that he has entrenched himself with someone powerful, given the things he got mixed up in at the harvesting yard.
Well, yes, that he sought some kind of protection with
Yes,
the Shade
with
Assembly.
the Shade Assembly.
Well, the Shade Assembly can send messages, surely.
If he's contracted them.
Yes, like, he might not be at the Shade Assembly. He might have simply received assistance to get into hiding the way that Valco did and took to.
Right.
So then is the plan to sort of, hey baby, it's been a while. I'd like to meet up with you, and what are you gonna do? I'm not a poet, so don't give me that look.
Was that... I think I'm simply going to let Grimari know, via the voice of Tessa Pleasance,
So, okay.
that I'm trying to find him.
That Erland Loftefell is trying to find Grimari.
I think so.
Oh, I see. So Tessa, in your imagination, is telling Grimari, hey, this guy
I helped her out significantly. I think
that screws you
I
over
th-
is looking for you?
I think I could say...
How do you think he's going to respond
I
positively
think
to
that
that?
Tessa Pleasance could... if he still has the flame in his heart for Tessa Pleasance, then he could perhaps be ingratiated to me that I helped her so much.
Do you think he'll believe that it's Tessa, though?
If you're involved with it, he may not believe
It
it.
I
was a
was gonna
long
say-
time ago.
Yeah,
He
remembers
seems to have
this.
done
Yes,
other
he seems
things.
to have gotten past that moment in his life.
He
No repercussions
turning
whatsoever.
other people
Mate.
into my
I'm just
enemies.
Mate, I
Erland,
think...
He has bigger fish to fry, so to speak.
I don't know.
It's kosher, right?
He has bigger fish to fry.
I'm not saying he has other things going on, but I'm just saying, like, he's not gonna just forget who you
No,
are.
I'm trying to say that I can't just say, "Hi, Grimari, it's me, Erland. Go fuck yourself."
No, but that's what I was saying.
Oh,
What if it's,
brother.
hi, Grimari, it's me, Tessa, and I've really
Sending
been
is
missing
hard to-
you.
Okay.
Sending is
and
hard
I'd like
to-
to meet up with you in this. Oh, is there
We
like
don't
a
know
place
where he
around
is.
here
He
where-
could be across the ocean. He could be in Gran Posada for all we know.
I'm
Yeah, but
gonna
you
give you like 5 of my parchments in my quill, and you can write a couple drafts.
This is a good idea.
And we can like vote if you want to about which one might be the best
I
one.
like this.
This is
idea.
ultimately. This is no longer. I have nothing against Grimari.
Yeah, but that
I
doesn't
don't
mean he
think
doesn't
we
have
can-
anything against you.
No, I'm trying to say the point of this message is to try and gain reconnaissance about what is happening at the harvesting yard and what is going on with Void 2.
Oh, but hand him the papers. He still needs to practice.
You have some other
You should
things,
practice
too. Yeah.
because you don't know how to erase it.
I'll give him 5 parchments so that he can start figuring his shit out.
Small bottle of ink.
What did you find in the
Oh, anything good?
Oh, yeah, I have to examine it, and I don't want to just open a big.
Oh, yeah,
case
maybe.
Of
I'm
possible-
kind of looking around, knowing that everyone here is starting a new life, and like just trying to make sure no
I mean,
one's.
people are going about their
eyeing us.
business for the most part. A couple people as they walk by, they don't know who you are, so you get some kind of just looks as you go by. No one's sort of suspiciously eyeing you, but
Did he point us in the direction of Phaedra Spooner?
he has not yet. But he said that would be taken care of.
Oh,
He said
good.
all your requests would be taken care of. You just haven't gotten to that point.
should we Yes, no.
But anyway, so yeah, I found some orbs. They look arcane in nature, so I'll take a look at those. And then
cool.
I found a little box of hopefully some money.
Once we meet up with the Goliath again, how long do we need to stay here before we can start making our way north to Finlock Forest?
A single night at the very
Yeah.
longest, right?
Phaedra Spooner, blacksmith, anything?
Well, I have to sell your gloves, and I was hoping to get either like a map of the north, like a more specific
right.
one, and also maybe just another healer's kit.
Oh, smart.
Yeah, is Cliff going to be sending us things? Do we have any idea? Would he
Graven?
know?
Before he departed with us, sent a message to Cliff,
Right.
trying to begin that process. So possibly.
Because that'll change how much I buy. Does anyone need money? as it
Don't
turns
know
out.
if we're gonna find much of the way of like
I know, but I
real
have.
adventurers supplies.
Why did you find money?
Well, no, I
We
just
did
I have
find
some.
No, I know. We're fine.
No, but I'm just wondering in case we needed to purchase any bigger items or healing potions if there are any, which we should pick up if there are, because you know, just better safe than sorry.
Sure.
How about
Okay.
Grimari? My love, I've missed you.
Okay.
It has been so long since I have kissed you.
Oh my god.
I met a young man who said he has a plan, and I think it would behoove you to help him.
And right at that moment, you hear some heavy clumping as those words are being absorbed into the minds of Safira and Orba. A little bit of clomping of boots brings your attention kind of behind you, where a portly man who has a very kind of fiery red mustache, a bushy eyebrows, he seems to be kind of headed directly in your direction. He's shirtless and his belly is kind of sagging over his belt that has a sheathed knife on both hips. He's sort of holding both of those knives, also maybe kind of holding his pants up at the same time. And the tattoos on his shoulders are in Elvish, and you think they're supposed to say Ire and Ochra, which means life and death, but they're slightly misspelled, so it's kind of just gibberish on both of his shoulders.
Hey.
And he walks up and sort of,
The house is readied up. Manager says I'm to take you to it.
Oh, right. That would be brilliant.
Come on then.
Okay.
turns around, starts to walk up, and he's talking as he's walking.
Place used to belong to old Shepley, but he doesn't use it much anymore. Dead man that he is.
Oh,
Right,
Sort of
okay.
moving up. Takes a little, it's one of those short ladders that kind of takes you up to a second boardwalk that curls around the edge.
He's on his way, sailing back from Carrick-a-Chun. Got caught in a terrible storm. Thunder, rain, and lightning, likes of which had never been seen before.
Oh.
And then after he got home, he had a heart attack in his kitchen.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Fates do fool you on occasion. Yes, they do. Right this way.
How long ago was this?
It must have been 6 months or so.
So sorry, were you friends?
I was, yes.
I'm so sorry. Ire and Okra, yes.
Yeah.
Sort of smiles, it's sort of life and death. And he heads up the walkways again. He leads you almost to the same spot that Manager did when he was taking you out of town towards Hylata. But just before you start to leave the main square of Kukati, he stops at a kind of stout little bungalow with faded wooden siding, and there's purple curtains in the windows. It's sort of 2 stories, but the second story looks actually more like a loft or an attic. It's not a true full second floor. And as you approach the door, it dawns on you that, sort of size notwithstanding, you can't remember the last time that you had an entire dwelling. A lifetime of barracks and bunks and dormitories and travel has kept you away from that small luxury. And even though it's not going to last, the turning of the key as he sort of reaches out allows you inside, and it's a very kind of welcome sound. So he opens it up.
Who wants to hold on to this?
Do you want it? I kind of like seeing her reach for it, I'll hand it to her.
He pushes the door open.
First floor has a kitchen, some seating, small bedroom in the back. You take the ladder up, and you'll find a few straw cots that we brought over. Blankets, too. There's a letter from Manager on the table, and any items that you requested should be in a box in the first floor bedroom. If you need anything else, well, you'll have to figure it out for yourself, I suppose.
Right, well, this is brilliant.
what's your name?
Comstock,
Thank you for showing us around, Comstock.
of course. Manager says we do. Good luck to you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Pulls up his belt, kind of waddles away. You sort of stare into the interior. It's pretty sparse, inside, but cozy enough.
Because of how you described it, did we walk into town where this house is kind of stationed, or just like exiting?
What do you mean?
You said Manager took us to a similar spot as when we were leaving town. So if like Graven were to come in, is this house one of the first things he'll see, or is that different?
It's kind of on the other side.
Oh.
Like, again, because of the sloping terrain, like if he knew exactly where to look, you could point to it across the way. But
Got it.
someone would have to probably tell him. Like, he wouldn't If you were out on the porch, he wouldn't. He could wave if you saw him. You know.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna take the
'Cause, like-
ironclad blue flag and put it on the front of the house. But
Sure,
if
yeah.
he can't see it from where he
He could. It's far, and there's some stuff in between. But if you stand on the front porch of this place, you can see in the distance the hitching posts where your horses.
Oh, okay.
So it's off a ways, but you can see it.
Oh, our horses are still there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll put the flag somewhere kind of visible in the.
Sure.
The beds are there, or he's bringing them up?
He said that there was cots upstairs, and then one bedroom on the first floor that presumably
great.
has a bed in it.
Well, I can't remember the last time I had a bath. I fancy an ale and a bath.
Everyone's
And
gonna
I'll
go to
probably
the
have to run
kitchen
snacks.
area, I guess. Is there any?
There is indeed. In the table in the kitchen, there's a sort of brief letter in manager's true form. It has a few sort of notes, so it has little kind of dotted notes that sort of outline a few different things. First thing it says, Phaedra Spooner, right by the hitching posts where you came into town. Her house has a narrow door and a tall chimney, and I'll hand this over as well, but I only have one copy. The next item of note is Opal Kinsley. We have a ship leaving for Dillasoon tomorrow. Your letter will be on it. Blacksmith. A lot of people just do their own ironwork around here, but Cody Cheeks is the most skilled hand. 2 doors down from my office, the place with the broken windows. The next thing after that is food and drink. The fishing is good here if you're up for it, otherwise you can get something from Enola. She opens up her stand around 5 p.m. each day down by the docks. And the last note says, Lyre, Lyre. I had to borrow it, not yours to keep. Please leave it here when you go. Manager.
Who asked for a lyre?
Can you play?
Just for the evening.
Oh, come on. Could be fun. Or it could be funny. And either way, that'd be good.
I'll think about it.
Don't have to do it in front of us. I just thought you.
No, you do have to do it in front of us. You definitely do.
Enjoy it.
Don't let him off the hook. Come on.
So did he have to learn to write, or did someone create him to
Okay.
write?
Okay.
No, with the Warforged stuff.
You just. I'm shocked.
You've
I've never seen one.
Just because you haven't seen, I've never seen one either, but I've read about them.
I'd heard of them in
It's really
books.
not
I
that
thought they
weird.
were. Frankly, I thought they were fictional.
Well, clearly, no. He wrote us a note.
Incredible.
Fictional things usually don't write notes, in my experience.
I mean, yeah, they are incredible.
And he actually seems like a pretty nice guy.
I liked him.
Wow.
Where first?
Bizarre. Well,
And as you look around in the interior here, the first floor, again, there's kind of a ladder in the corner that looks like it goes up to the loft. There's a little kitchen area that has a very small, kind of simple sort of oven, like a clay oven with a chimney going up. There's a little table there. There's one door that looks like it leads in the back that might be the bedroom that was sort of mentioned, and the guy that you just spoke to mentioned that the other items might be in there. And then there's like a couple sort of basic sort of stools and seats that have been arranged just to sit in if need be. So that's what you see as you kind of enter in this little space.
well, again, I'm right hungry, and I could really use a drink. But I suppose priorities-wise, do you want to see Phaedra Spooner now, or would you like a bite and then you can go? Do you want someone
Actually, before we see Phaedra, I definitely want you to have a look at this.
Oh,
Because I want to
okay.
ask her about the page.
Okay, it might take a moment.
That's fine. I want to just. I don't have much to ask her. I want to find out why she thought communication with Grimari would be so dangerous.
I will also say just on your note, it's probably not 5 o'clock yet. It's probably
Right,
like
okay.
so if you're looking to have food and drink at the
It would be
stand,
here.
you need to wait a little bit of
Okay.
time or fend for yourselves.
I
And
guess.
I kind of start opening cupboards then.
It's all
Just
empty.
it's-
Everything.
no.
There's a couple there's a couple larger pots that you could put in the sort of oven there, but it's otherwise pretty empty.
I have rations if you're hungry.
Yeah.
You want
Yeah. And then I kind of reach into my bag. I have rations
Oh.
too. I was looking for something more exciting.
Aw.
So I'm gonna kind of start nomming on some jerky there.
Orba's gonna put her plant and her little troll figurine like on a windowsill to get some light onto it and stuff. And then she's gonna sit down at the table and start trying to wrap her head around this, I guess.
Great. You watch as Orba's sort of running her hands along the page, trying to detect any kind of magic.
I'll look around the house for anything.
Sure. There's really only 2 places to go, either the bedroom in the back or the attic upstairs.
I mean, I have 10 minutes. I'll take a look around both.
Okay.
And 10 minutes for the spell, yeah?
No,
you guys-
I think she needs an hour to. It has to be a short rest, basically, that you identify it. She doesn't have the identify spell.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you
No,
were
it's
casting
okay.
Singers.
This is gonna be a little bit.
Okay, and I'll spend, I don't know, I'll spend like 15 minutes just kind of looking around the room, seeing if there's anything in any of the cupboards.
You go to the ladder and poke your head up into the sort of upstairs space. It's not cramped, it's decently roomy, but it's pretty simple. There's 4 straw cots that have been kind of assembled up here just for your purposes, and it's otherwise completely empty. Like I said, the cupboards are totally bare with the exception of a couple larger pots in case you wanted to like mix up a stew or something or a soup. And then if you push the door into the bedroom in the back, you see sort of a feather stuffed mattress. It's sort of a little nicer than the straw cots upstairs, but nothing fancy. And there's a small open-topped crate that looks to have a few items inside that's sitting atop the bed. And on a reclined wooden stand by the wall is a 10-string lyre. Its body crafted with red cedar, polished so it catches the faintest bit of light coming through the window. Inside the crate, if you take a peek, there's an ornate and unlabeled bottle with a corked top. There's a set of playing cards wrapped in a little bundle of leaves and twine, and a translucent pair of dice that, based on the kind of earthy orange color, they look like they might be made of amber, like it's a sort of quite fine set of dice made of amber. So those are the items that you see.
Is the bottle labeled, or do I recognize it?
Unlabeled, kind of again, the bottle looks decently fancy, like the craftsmanship of the glass blowing looks nice.
Does it look like a potion bottle?
No. It looks like, if not a wine bottle, like an ale, like a sealed bottle.
Is there a door to this room?
Yes.
Well, everyone's downstairs. I'm gonna kind of as quietly as I can close the door.
I mean, they'll hear the door closing. It's
That's
too
fine.
small. Yeah, you do so.
I'll sort of sit on the edge of one of the cots. It's been a long time. I'll sort of pick up the lyre
Stop.
and I'll sort of start to play like a slow, fairly simple ballad.
Okay. Something sort of mood-wise?
Something
somber and...
Yeah, something simple and a love song.
Okay.
Hot.
Erland sits. You guys can hear the notes coming from the other room.
I don't think I can make fun of him for this. I think he's actually pretty good.
It's nice.
I can't tell him I said that.
Just plays for a while. Most of the muffled sounds of Kukati Cove kind of just fading away. You guys are on, again, sort of removed a little bit from the main center square. You can hear occasionally a pair of boots sort of moving along the boardwalk outside. Some laughter occasionally, sort of in the distance. Hear some people kind of shouting down toward the docks, sort of waiting, telling people to wait or unload things from some of the ships. Other than that, you just hear the sounds of Erland plucking away in the other room. At a certain point, it stops.
Put it down, grab the bottle, crack open the door.
Safira!
Yeah.
You're downstairs.
Oh, Safira!
Hello.
We're on the same floor, bro.
The loft,
Fuck Safira.
the loft only has 4 straw cots. There's nothing else.
Oh, okay,
The
great.
bedroom had a sort of a feather mattress. and
Oh,
the
I'm
box
sorry. I
upstairs.
thought the lyre was upstairs with the. Okay, great. Safira, I found some ale. Maybe.
Wait, really?
Maybe.
Okay.
It's
and I'm kind
ale.
of hurrying up to because you had seen me sadly looking at the list, realizing he didn't tell me where I could get there.
I'll find. Where's Safira right now?
I'm walking.
house is
I'm
like this.
walking
Right.
rapidly towards you
Yeah.
since you said there was.
And I'll hold up
alcohol.
this bottle.
Does it look nice?
Take it. Do you think we can have this?
I mean,
Without waiting for you to answer, I'm gonna open it and then like take a sip of it, a small sip.
of it.
Just hope
It's
I
a
don't
very
die.
smooth taste
I should have
of
smelled it first.
caramel.
It's my internet, right?
Very smooth taste of caramel and chocolate, paired with kind of a sweet raisin, a little bit of nutty notes in its aroma. It's rather strong. It's very sort of potent, And it has kind of a long-lasting, warm aftertaste that kind of sits in your mouth there as you drink it. It's pleasant. It's nice.
That's really nice. That's really.
You as well.
I should have known I wouldn't even be able to describe what
Sorry.
it is before. Oh no,
And I'm offering it to Orba now.
it's for you.
Oh no, you.
I asked for the best that Kukati has.
Right, well, this is very good, but you don't want to try it.
I'll try it, but it's yours.
Try.
There's also dice and some playing cards if we want to pass the time.
That's Graven's.
Oh,
Oh,
did you just ask for fun things?
Yeah.
do you want to try it? It's very good.
Sure.
It's not bad on the Lyre, by the way. Close the door, he's all shy.
You heard that.
You
it's a
heard
very
that.
small house, yes, I know.
You heard
It was really nice, Erland.
Yeah, it was nice.
I...
Not quite as nice as this. This was brilliant, thank you. But
It's
very
good.
nice, good job.
I wrote that song when I was a boy.
Really?
Composer too!
No, I just
at him.
wrote it to impress a schoolmate.
Oh, he wrote it to impress
Did it work?
someone. Yeah,
No.
did it work?
Oh no, it didn't work.
Maybe we shouldn't let him write the note.
What did the person do?
Oh, I never actually played it. I had to leave before.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. I guess that's better than them saying no, thank you. Please stop playing.
Well, that was just... It's
The fight
fine.
is
It was
funny,
nice
though.
to play. Thank you. I'll perhaps play something more fun in front of you tonight over the wine and cards. when-
He's gonna do it again.
The Goliath... you should relax.
Oh,
this is the
was
last
brilliant.
time
We haven't had fun like this.
It's-
I'm kind of leaning back. I'm so happy.
This is the last time we'll probably be in a cot for several days, and we're fighting the...
Ah, this is nice.
Happy.
Yes.
And with a little bit of time to relax here in Kukati Cove, we pivot out to Rogue,
Let's go.
Quiet, everyone. Quiet, children.
where from a distance, Kukati Cove has an air of Hodnock about it. A little coastal town where people go to escape from the troubles of the world that loom large over the majority of the continent. The people will almost certainly be different, but that too seems fitting. You feel like you've kind of come full circle on your deific struggles. Once again, alone with Kuuzni, and the frustration of none of the others heeding the call in your most desperate hour, causing you to look inward instead. You spent the time away from the party focused entirely on what you can control. You've always been an adept fighter, but for the majority of your life, you've leaned heavily on the powers that were gifted to you, and why wouldn't you? But you feel it's time now to sharpen the skills that have perhaps gotten rusty, so that where magic fails, your body will not. As you get closer to the outskirts, you pass by a series of hitching posts and you recognize the horses of your companions. A little surprised to find them so unguarded, but understanding the necessity of leaving them here due to the kind of rough and unbalanced walkways that you see cascading out down toward the water. So you arrive here at the edge of town, people milling about. It's sort of in the later afternoon, like 3:30, 4 o'clock.
The horses are in front of what you said? Just
There's like a series of hitching posts right on
Just
the edge of
as you
town.
come in.
Yep, kind of as you come in. There's a little like peaked rooftop that sort of hovers over them to protect them from the weather.
just here somewhere. I'll go up and I'll do similar and
Hitch
my
And immediately as you kind of enter town, people kind of walking by sort of get a couple glances and looks at someone they don't recognize.
everybody fleeting glances. Nobody really kind of
Not lingering glances, no.
and they look like they're going about their day like try to stop somebody.
Sure.
Doesn't give me as much of a stink eye.
One guy's kind of carrying like a large sack
Yeah.
that looks like it might have some supplies that are going down to the boats down at the docks. And you sort of,
Excuse me.
What?
3 travelers would have come here in the last day or two. New to town.
No. No. Speak to manager. I don't speak to you.
Manager.
pushes past you.
Where will I find this
No.
manager?
Speak to manager.
And as you're kind of looking around, a guy that's sort of leaning over a railing with a pipe in his hand.
This guy.
Welcome to fucking Kukati, eh?
Yes, I feel very welcome.
You with the other dry boots that came in this morning?
3 of them?
I came in just in time to do none of the work and reap all the benefits.
Work on what?
They did manager a favor, which means they did Kukati a favor. I think I saw him go up to old Shepley's place. If they're not up there, I guess it's as good as mine.
This manager. They were in touch with him.
They were.
Will I offend this manager without speaking to him first?
He's not here to speak to, so no one to offend, I guess.
Shepley's.
He points to a little house kind of up on the other side of the, it kind of dips down and then goes back up the other side in this little ravine kind of.
Give a nod and make my way.
Make your way over there. You walk up, you kind of give a look around. As you're approaching the house, some of the people sort of nearby, or one guy that's kind of has the window open in the house nearby, next door, is kind of reading a book there in the window, and he kind of peers out just to look at you approach the house. And then he kind of leans back in the window. You kind of listen and wait. You're right there on the porch.
Go up the door.
Let's hear the knock.
Kind of spring out of the chair with the bottle in hand and open it up.
Already asleep on the couch.
Graven, you alright? Here, try some of this. It's really good. Come on in. And I'm kind of like ushering him in the door.
As Graven arrives and comes through the door, even for someone who was already, he looks leaner than usual, like borderline, not like uncomfortably, but like a little dehydrated, like the muscles sort of just standing out on his sort of arms and legs, like just very kind of lean and like almost like he's been doing quite a bit of physical activity since the last time you saw him.
Been like 3 days?
It's been a day and a half,
Day and a half?
Not even 2 full days.
You made yourselves comfortable pretty quick. Is this what you've been doing?
Yeah, welcome to our home.
Yes.
You purchased a home.
Well, no. You alright, mate? You look a little... I'm kind of like handing my... I've been snacking on... Do you want something to eat?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Were you able to, find yourself?
Just walked in the door.
I've been worried about him.
Away.
He looks good.
It's not something I think I've ever heard you say before. Yes, everything is fine.
Well, sit down. Have a seat.
Yes.
Take it to the...
Try
Sort of
it.
mismatched seats at the table there. Clearly they brought in some seats because it was just one guy's house. He didn't have like a bunch of chairs there, so some of them are kind of with a back, some of them are just stools.
This,
That's nice, right?
yeah, quite. Goes straight to the head a bit, doesn't it?
You should eat something.
Man, I have. Rations. That's fine. This manager.
Yeah.
Is that who set you up here?
Yes. He's a,
Fairly nice guy. He's a warforged. Scared the shit out of him, but other than that...
Have you ever seen one forged?
No. I've heard of them, but never seen one.
Well, you probably would have acted more normal than this weirdo when you saw him.
It was surprising.
Really embarrassing, mate. Really
He
embarrassing.
didn't notice.
He totally noticed.
It was
To be clear,
surprising.
he
I think you can
absolutely
still
noticed.
tell when people are being rude.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
no, I know you
being rude.
He did this. He waved in front of his face to
Anyway.
make sure he was real.
So we had to do a favor for him, and we got 2 healing potions out of it. This house for 1 evening.
This.
Oh,
I'm kind of clinking against my breast wrist.
Safira has a fine sort of fitted breastplate there
I
that's...
thought you were doing that for the bottle.
Smash! It's quite nice. I
Oh, right.
didn't really get a chance to dwell on it, but you've noticed that I was able to
Oh,
find
yeah,
another
right.
piece of Goliath armor, this half-plate
Oh,
armor.
yeah.
In the mountains, yes.
Yes, as well as a handful of gold I found.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Oh,
if
we can
need.
put it with this.
Heavy chest. As you put it on the table has a single leg in the middle, and when you put it down, it like tilts a little bit, like it's heavy. It tries to catch it.
No, let's not break
Keep
anything.
it from kind of...
How much gold is in there?
I don't know. I haven't opened it yet. I was looking at
Probably
something else.
a lot.
You found this.
Yes, it was on the ship. Part of the favor for him was going to the ship, picking up some things.
Everyone in Kukati Cove is a criminal in some way. Someone who
former.
is trying to start a new life.
Bit of a oversimplification. Yes, I know what Kukati Cove is.
Oh.
Oh, well.
I'm familiar. I may have passed through it.
Anyways, when you were...
Keep going.
Are you safe here? I'm asking... we've been
They
to
weren't
places
exactly friendly, but yes, I don't...
Last time we went somewhere before us that the satyr tried to spend a day trying to kill us. I'm
To
just
your
asking.
knowledge, there's no reason why you would be. You certainly
That's
can't recall
fair,
any
I
reason
suppose.
why, in particular, you'd be targeted.
Anyways, we
We're all a
found-
bit rough around the edges, but yes, I think I'm just as safe as you are.
We found a list of the residents of Kukati Cove and the crimes they had done, and people on this ship were... Perhaps we can learn more when we open the chest, but there might be more information in there.
Which chest?
From the boat, from the ship.
Yeah, there were two.
Oh.
The money one or the orbs one?
I haven't looked in either.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we might have more information. I don't know. I'm looking at this thing first.
It seemed the...
Orbs.
Yeah, some like arcane-looking orbs. From like Grand Megas? Grand Megas? Megas? What did you say?
Magus?
Magus.
The Grand Magus.
Grand
would've-
Magus.
Yes, would have crafted one.
Yeah.
Do you know what they are, or what they do?
No, I haven't looked at them yet. I'm too busy looking at this one.
Alright, be careful with them, I suppose.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Do you want me to take a look at them?
If you want to. How good at your...
Does that sound familiar?
It doesn't,
arcane orbs?
and you certainly could, as we've done before, just mechanically. Like it requires Arcana checks to sort of look at things while you're,
Yeah.
Doesn't mean
You can
can't,
count
but-
the gold.
Thanks. I think I'm all right. But this is nice. This won't be staying long, but a nice little spot.
Really nice.
we have information. Phaedra Spooner, we know where she is. The blacksmith, there's a sort of local... Everyone seems to be a
Oh yeah,
blacksmith.
if you want to get rid of your old armor, then that would be a good place to go, I
Right.
suppose.
A place to eat. Opens
I'm
about now,
right excited
actually.
for that because I'm
little bit.
tired of the rations, and if I can get a nice meal, I think we should all do that.
And Orba got us some... got you some... Got you some,
Nothing.
some
Got you
gold.
some
Got you
nothing.
some gold. From the chest. That we're all splitting. Some of it's for you.
All right.
How hard did that cold light walker hit you, Erland? What is happening to you?
Not
Oh,
either too hard or not nearly hard.
Time in a long
Sit there for
time.
1 second. I'm gonna go grab something.
All right.
Orb's gonna get up. She's gonna go to the room. She's gonna get his little
Kind
Instead
of
of amber
whispering as
dice
she's
and a
leaving.
package of cards that's kind of wrapped in leaves and then tied with twine.
She got us surprises. Pack surprise.
From where?
I don't know. She asked manager.
She got us all surprises.
This
It's
was
very
my
sweet.
surprise. He had a surprise. You missed it. It's very cool. It's just.
Orba comes back. It took 2 seconds.
Okay, close your eyes.
The orbs! Careful! Yes. Dice.
And
One
the
of
cards.
the decisive victories that I made in the mountains.
What?
She wasn't there.
Suppose she
We didn't tell her about this.
The
One of the entrances to the other planes.
Yeah.
The reason it closed is because of a decisive pig victory on my part.
Really?
Hang on. One of the
Wait, you
doors
were-
to the other planes was just a game of fucking pig.
There
Well, it
were,
was
there
one
were
of those-
ghosts as well.
Ghosts and
What?
this
A
thing
one-eyed,
with
a
single
one-eyed
eye.
creature that you saw. No.
Absolutely.
Yes, that you saw inside
bonkers. Bonkers. That's
Wait.
insane.
I beat it in pig.
Okay,
Is the
so
point of that story.
I was dodging cold light walker attacks, and you guys were playing cards.
I
in
was
the
fighting.
portals?
I was
That's what you
fighting
were
a
doing?
ghost.
Oh,
It was one of the tasks in the first portal.
What were the other ones?
Insane.
The other one that Safira and I went into.
Oh, there was a hippogriff. Oh, you should have seen it. I'm sorry.
I flew
no,
a
it
hippogriff
was right, cool.
and destroyed.
Kind of forgot about it because
It-
he nearly died. But there was a hippogriff.
And then there was a giant skeleton in the third one.
Not as exciting.
that you had to kill.
Not really
and the
fun.
fourth one, which we didn't do, had over a dozen ghosts and a weird one-eyed creature say, "Are you all right?"
I wouldn't say that it was fun.
No,
Very
it was
stressful.
terrifying. It's only fun in hindsight.
Imagine playing a game where your friends' lives hung in the balance.
I don't
Yeah,
want to.
but at least you were playing a
very
game.
fun.
I was just dodging crazy attacks.
That's
Okay,
that's
it's
It was a
fine.
very
Anyway.
high-stress game, and I
Well,
won it.
good for you. Will you have cards too, so we can play Shut the Box and all that other stuff? And have some fun.
Excellent.
Tonight, then, after we
Sure.
do our business in Kukati Cove.
I told you, I was able to send a message to Cliff, and he is sending supplies.
Oh, good.
Okay.
I also sent to Pockets. Innocuous enough, but I believe it was overheard. My sendings have been working, but there is somebody
They're
listening.
not private.
No,
Right.
they're not.
What did you say to Pockets?
Very simple, where we were headed, and to go to Cliff on his way. And perhaps he could be either part of the envoy or one of the people that helps bring us supplies.
Oh, that's clever.
Are we on track to meet Pockets at where we're supposed to?
I believe so. Yeah. He's still not even quite back to Navikapura yet, so he has to make the journey from Navikapura all the way to the...
Without significant setbacks, you should arrive before he gets there, based on the timeline you gave.
We are ahead of him as of right now, so
Right.
That's great.
good, I suppose.
Any luck on the page?
Oh, yeah, we can say it's been now that it's been kind of about an hour. Give me an Arcana check.
Regular Orba, here we go. I try.
Not with an item that she's not fairly familiar with. Spell she barely knows.
Oh no.
Well, that's a 3 for a 10.
You're unable to discern the mechanic with which one would kind of reset the note, or you're sort of tinkering around with it without writing on it or anything, being very careful. You're unable to discern how one would use it beyond its simple writing, and someone else gets the message elsewhere.
Okay. I got nothing.
Does like graphite exist with like erasers, or is there any sort of erasable
Yeah,
chalk?
erasable ink.
There is like chalk, sure. You don't know what substance you'd have to write on the page with for it to appear elsewhere. So yeah.
Maybe, Erland, you can just write really small. That way, in case anything else comes up on the page,
But I
don't
This-
even
this
have
is
room
what-
to respond.
This is the mirrored inscription spell
Yeah,
that
look at the
communicates with
flowers.
Grimari. It's very romantic.
Have you, in the setting that you schooled,
Yeah.
was there
The holes of
magical?
transmutations?
Yes, the magical inks. Are there? Have you ever seen someone use maybe spell components to in ink or with ink or?
Did I ever?
Sure, but not in a way that you guys are not familiar with how this would
Perhaps
work
we
in
could
that way.
ask Phaedra if she knows anything about it. I know she's an herbalist, but she knew enough about this page to hand it over to manager.
Or
Or she knew nothing about it, and that's why she handed it over, so... I would assume she knew what she had, though.
you can always send a message to somebody. You said you could get a hold of Josco. I know that's a costly thing, but... that's
Marvin
just an
Bishop?
option.
Would I be able to send to Marvin Bishop? I didn't really interact with him.
You
You've
know.
never met Marvin Bishop.
I saw him get thrown
Thrown
into a
into
cart.
a cart.
I never really met him.
No.
Counts.
Creature you're familiar with, I think is how it's phrased.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to send anything to Marvin, but
Josco would know how it works. I assume.
this specific
Or Celis.
mirrored inscription, maybe Celis. Is it worth just making an innocuous mark on it somewhere and seeing if it disappears on its own?
It's possible. I don't know if you need to attune to it. I don't know if you have some kind of like a... Sometimes when you attune to an item and it needs reset or activated, you need like a word that kind of triggers it. I don't know.
Let's try an innocuous mark.
Perhaps maybe we should talk to Phaedra first.
The one that you get your
I
messages
mean, you can do
on.
what you want, I suppose, but...
Does it disappear? Actually, that's true. The one when I've seen it from Marvin, I can't remember the mechanics of it. Does this kind of disappear as after a little bit?
It didn't seem to be a regular interval at which it disappeared. Like it seemed like because some of them, I think there was one. Remember, he was in the middle of writing it and then like erased it as to not be seen or something.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It seemed clear that there was a way for him to.
Right, because the page that we saw in GGG was there for a long time.
Yes. There's no indication, as far as you can tell, that it disappears on its own.
We need to ask someone.
Can we tell if this is just something that you could attune to? Is this...
We'll say that Orba was able to discern that, and it's not attunement required.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's linked to the other item with which it's inscribed, but you are not required to attune to such an item.
Maybe don't mark it up. It hasn't been used in ages.
Allegedly, unless Tessa Pleasance was lying to me about writing dirty things to Grimari, which she may have been. That's embarrassing.
Our first thing on there should not be innocuous. It should be decisive.
Probably, unless you think in your mind Tessa would be fumbling over her words so much that she errantly made a mark on the page and
There's no rush on this. It's been...
Let's ask Phaedra.
I'll ask Phaedra. Perhaps... Should I go alone to Phaedra? Should we go in numbers?
What do you think? The deal was with you strictly, so will it be intimidating if you come up with a group?
Potentially.
I'm just going to sit and work on the other orbs and stuff, so...
Alright,
I'm happy to come with you if you want me to, but I'm not great at that kind of thing.
why don't...
To be fair, you don't seem to be either, judging by... what is it? Please explain it.
It was shocking. It was surprising. I was expecting
Next
not...
time something is shocking, it's just surprising. You don't need to be...
Why don't you go see Cheeks? Cody Cheeks.
Oh yeah, you want to sell the gloves and stuff?
Yeah, actually.
I could possibly
Fine.
sell my old armor as well.
Oh, right. So
You-
I suppose then we can go together.
You can go to Cody Cheeks. I'll go to Phaedra Spooner and Cody Cheeks. He's the resident...
Same. He's the blacksmith guy, or,
Familiar?
So, you know what you're going to ask.
Yes, I want to ask Phaedra why she handed this to manager,
Make sure you ask her if you can erase it. That's the most important thing.
how it works, how you erase it.
How did Phaedra end up with it?
From Niels Bargus and Tessa Pleasance sort of at the same time.
But it was Tessa's
Tessa
original.
sent it.
Yes.
Tessa had it, and she's the one who sent it to me.
Yes, and Niels, but she's friends with Niels, I believe.
They know
Like they're
each other,
acquaintances.
Like her and Niels are...
the bargain was simply that Niels would let off Tessa's debt, and in exchange for that, Tessa would send the note north to Kukati Cove.
That was a domino effect, kind of.
Yeah.
So it's less that Phaedra might not even know what it is.
But
No.
she seemed to be wary of it enough that she gave it to manager, and
Just
I
knew
don't...
it was leverage.
She knew it was valuable.
What?
Yeah, I don't
So you
know
had
if
value.
I don't know if that's simply the way things are in Kukati Cove or genuine concern for
Well, go ask her then.
who it was.
So, blacksmith, you're staying here.
I'll
Are
stay
you
here.
safe here alone?
Yeah. If there's if Cheeks or somebody else has like a map of the north, or if they can recommend where to buy a
map.
healer's kit,
Okay.
those are two things
Map.
we could afford to get.
I'm
Map.
Giving you my silvered gloves.
I gave them to her because you gave them to me.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Delete.
I don't think I don't have anything that I can sell. I can't sell my old armor that I had.
The leather armor, you could. The basic leather armor doesn't have a ton of value, but you definitely could.
Would it be silvered gloves? I wouldn't be able to like melt down and use that silver to apply to my nunchaku, would I?
You could, but that might take time and a skilled smith that would be able to do that. Theoretically possible. You'd have to remove the silver pieces and then melt them down. And,
I need to get the pelt off my horse. Have an idea.
Is it worth abandoning our warm clothes and our boards that we went down the mountains on?
Oh, I don't know. We won't need them again, surely.
Can we leave them here? Is this house open to us in the future?
I don't believe so. We could always try, but I don't believe so.
When are we next heading to the mountains?
Not on my radar at all.
Finmont Forest, Navikapura, a boat?
I don't know.
I don't know. I would be happy to not go back ever again, but not
Maybe
that
hold on
high
to the
anyway.
clothes. The longboard, maybe not so much. Anyway, good luck. I'm just gonna.
as everybody gets up, they sort of push off from the table, and again, the weight of that chest.
Shit.
Okay.
Nobody break the table. Let's put it on the
Counting
ground.
it on the floor.
Should we count that now rather than just leave it in this open house?
Well, I'm staying here.
Oh, okay. Count it then.
Get in there, count it right now.
Get in there. Do some counting. That's what I thought.
Go away.
All right.
Are you opening it? Sorry, are you waiting for them to go?
Yeah, I'll do that. That's passive. Just go do your thing.
You seem like you don't want to open it yet.
I fucking open it. Oh my god. Graven's just standing over her. I open it.
All right, inside, you open up the chest, and you had peeked inside quickly before, and now you're looking at it again. Sorry. And inside the chest are 12 columns of gold coins. They're sort of arranged in a way that, as you've seen before, I think sometimes at like the Broken Crown, in that like clearly like so you could take them out and immediately know how much you were taking out.
Right.
There's 6 columns per tray, and then there's 3 trays sitting atop. So there's there's what did I say? No, it should be 18. Yes, there should be 18 trays.
What was that?
Yes. So there's 18 of these sort of columns here, and each one has 40 gold.
Wait, how much
However-
money is that?
However,
finish.
it looks like someone maybe before you, one of the castaways, like maybe opened it and grabbed a handful of coins just in case they needed them as they tried to escape. So a few of them are missing. You take some time to sort of count through them, and it looks like there's about 700 gold worth. It would fit 720, but it looks like someone grabbed kind of a fistful of gold coins as they sort of ran on the way out.
As Orba quickly does the math in her head, she'll close it.
Oh.
We're so rich, guys!
How?
Let's.
A lot?
A lot!
200?
You fool! Because, and she'll turn it, and she'll open it, and then she'll take a tray out, and then she'll take a tray out.
Gods, that's a lot of gold.
I mean, in addition to just the marvel of the gold, you can tell that the mission that this boat was on was they were prepared to hand out some serious gold to get this done, whatever they were.
There must be some very wanted criminals here.
I suppose.
What was this boat for?
What?
I mean, we didn't really know. Manager didn't really seem to know either. Yeah.
It came from Ki'ira, and it was for the sole purpose of transferring this. I mean, people were ready to die for it. This scroll that had a list of war criminals on it from the War of Giants, but not necessarily from Antisuyu, from continents.
All over.
Yeah, all over the place.
Do you have the list?
No, that's what manager took.
And also to clarify one thing you said, the list was not all people from Kukati Cove. He was on it.
Oh,
but it was a list of
shit.
like there might have been other people from Kukati Cove, but it's not like a list of people specific to Kukati Cove.
Did you get a look at it at all?
We got a quick look at it. I just wanted to basically check if his name was on there, which it was. His former name, and obviously keep this to yourself because he's been quite helpful. Seems like a relatively nice guy, we hope. It was Boss, formerly. So Boss, now known as Manager. I suppose he's told us he got on that list because he had killed his creator. I didn't exactly describe the nature of the falling out, but I suppose...
Well, he wanted to decommission him. Wanted to kill him after
that's
the war.
right. It was life or death, so...
From very far away, originally. Katva, he said. North of Grand Prasada.
Anyway, so that was the boat.
I don't know where that is.
And it,
Grand Prasada's where the Asimars are from, where the light...
the light whistles, yeah.
yes.
We got a good look at that list. We didn't recognize any other names.
You were the only one who gave the sort of stronger look through, and no, you didn't recognize a single name other than, and you didn't even recognize, you had to look for the description of a Warforged to even recognize,
Is it the kind of thing where if I saw one of those names come up again, I might remember it from the list?
I'll say maybe a few of them that were around manager's description, because that's where you were kind of focused on. So yeah, I'll let you know if you see a name that sort of immediately sort of sparks that kind of recognition.
Okay.
Could be good intel. So, do we know how long Warforged lives?
Any of you know that?
Can live?
Dunno. Anyways, so I got lots of money now, and I'm gonna go ahead and look at these Orby things now. So, go ahead.
The boat crashed.
Yeah, please.
You didn't assault the boat.
No, yeah.
No, it's more.
No, it
right.
was.
And there was a horrible creature that had sort of killed people upon it.
Oh yeah, have you ever seen anything like this? And I'm gonna kind of describe the
What's it
creature with
called?
the
Sad,
spiky
Horn,
arms.
yeah. Sort of the
Sad boy?
elongated
Sad
neck
boy.
and these sort of limbs that sort of spiked on the end, and it can kind of shoot out these limbs, sort of harpooned limbs. Give me a nature check. Nature? Give me a history.
Oh, no, I hate those. Oh,
Sad
they're
boy.
actually just as bad.
He's back, baby.
Natural
Here he
one.
is.
Not familiar.
Dude.
Sounds gross.
Well, the only thing that reminds me of is the mutants that we've come across.
Yeah, it wasn't that.
It wasn't like that.
No.
It was certainly more like amorphous. It was kind of like almost like
Ugh.
weirdly.
Little blob.
And you're not. How far away was this? You're not afraid that it's going to come here, are you?
No, it seemed preoccupied with the boat.
And it's not undead.
No,
that
it
you
didn't
could-
seem
No.
like it, no. And actually, that was in my...
Yes, you would have been
it's
able to
not
tell.
undead,
Yeah, because
I
you
would've
used that
known.
ability.
Okay, get out. I want to look at my orbs. Go, go, go,
alright.
go, go.
Be
Please
careful.
be careful.
I will, I will,
Be
I will.
careful. Lock the door.
If you hear an explosion, I'm sure it's me.
Okay, you know what?
Not
Don't
funny.
say that. I'll stay. I will just sit on you.
No.
Let's go.
Okay.
So you guys are splitting up. Safira and Graven down toward really in the direction of manager's office, toward the blacksmith, and Erland off in the direction back towards the hitching posts where Phaedra's house is located.
Before I go to Phaedra's, I'll just check on our horses, make sure everything's there, make sure no one's added or taken away.
Sure, you give a quick look. Everything is exactly where you left it.
Love this fucking town.
Fucking Kukati, eh?
So back up toward the hitching posts you go, and there's one house that's marked by, as was described in the letter, an exceptionally tall chimney. It seems like it was an effort to make sure that any contaminants in the smoke that's billowing forth didn't kind of hang heavy over the neighboring homes. Mixed up in the black clouds that are kind of puffing out of the chimney are some blues and greens. It definitely doesn't look like something you'd want to be kind of inhaling. And to her credit, it looks like she's kind of constructed this extra tall chimney to make sure that it doesn't sort of waft in and get in the nostrils of her fellow citizens here. So as you approach the door, there's also kind of a strong organic odor. It's like wet mold, like something just earthy as you approach her door there. You give it a knock. Moment kind of goes by, and then the little narrow door slides open. You see a short-haired tiefling woman in her 40s. There's smudges of dirt on her chin, and the hand that she puts up against the frame is coated brown, like she's been toiling away in a garden or something. She's breathing loudly and through her mouth, kind of like her nose is all stuffed up.
Oh no.
And when she breathes, you can also smell a little bit of honey wine on her breath from perhaps the night before, or perhaps a little from this morning as well. It's hard to tell. So she kind of pops the door open.
If you got sick from something and you've traced it back to here, all I can say is you probably used it wrong.
No, I'm friends with manager.
Okay.
He gave me this.
Right, yeah. Okay.
I just wanted to ask you about it. Why did you give it to manager in the first place?
Well, look, I can't really talk about that, okay?
Why
You
not?
speak to manager about it or you don't speak about it at all. Anything magic or of great value that comes into Kukati gets looked at by him first, and he gets the final say.
Yes, and he was quite. I worked for him. We fought off some beings, got what he needed, and I was able to get this back. So there's no. You don't personally know what this is. You just have to pass it off to.
I got it from Tessa. I assume you know what it is. Otherwise, why come get it?
Yes. Do you know what it is?
I know that it's of value, and when something of value comes through, it goes to manager first.
How did you know it was of value?
Because Tessa said it was.
All right.
She said to make sure that it didn't fall into someone else's hands.
All right. And I assume you know Niels Vargas.
I know Niels, yeah.
So did you hear from Tessa that everything went according to plan?
She said that it went according to plan well enough that I should give away the note.
All right. That's fine, I suppose. You're an herbalist?
Yes. Sorry, I can't give you more than that.
It's fine. Perhaps.
She kind of wipes her face again, makes a big kind of smudge across her face.
Does it seem like she's being honest about not knowing what the
Give me an insight check.
25.
25. She said that she got a letter from Tessa that at least explained something to some extent. Seems like maybe the letter had some more details in it that she's made aware of.
You're an herbalist, yes?
Yeah.
I worked with both Blom and Jahutn in Tuktu. Are you familiar with them?
Some names I've heard, sure.
You've never worked with them personally?
No.
What is your specialty in herbalism?
I work with plants. I make some potions, a little of everything for the people here in Kukati.
Right. I was curious as to whether or not you ever worked with myconid extract.
No. Although, to be honest, I'd give it a try.
All right. And have you ever worked with...
I'm not opposed to it, if you've got it.
Can I perhaps come in?
Yeah, all right.
besides the door. It's sort of a very narrow doorway that you have to sort of tilt your way to get through, and you move into this small, it's a bedroom and a workshop. Like, her bed is clearly in the corner, but most of the surfaces are covered in potted plants. Like, give me a perception check as you're looking around, but like potted plants and little racks of vials and potions and things.
Do they smell me?
Sorry, what perception check?
Yeah.
9.
9. Just off the top of your head, as you give a quick look around the room, there are definitely a couple plants simply because you saw them at Blom's.
Yeah.
She's got some Okex and some Fravi flowers that you saw back at the...
Okex is which one?
Okex is the one that gave you the bullbark skill.
Yeah.
And then some of those Fravi flowers that you saw on that crashed caravan that you guys went. A couple other plants you don't recognize.
I don't see any of the other ones I worked with Blom.
Not of those ones, no. Yep, that's the only one you see.
There were 2 other plants I worked with Blom, right?
Yes, but you don't see those as far as you can tell.
You've got quite the collection.
I'm the only one in town who really knows anything about it, so it keeps me busy.
Oh. Well, I was wondering if you knew anything about, not necessarily myconid extract per se, but the way that plants interact with those poisoned with it.
Could you be more specific?
This. I'll sort of walk over to the, Okex Zarifa, is that how you pronounce it?
Okex Zarisa.
Zarisa, I'll walk over to that.
Oh.
I'm not going to touch it. This particular plant. I assume, know what it does?
Yeah.
And she nods, and then she goes, like, moves rapidly toward it, and it curls up in the way that you saw before. Like, the plant reacts to kind of quick motions toward it.
Have you ever seen anyone able to sort of harness plant powers?
Oh, there's ways to prepare the plant that sort of give you some small enhancements.
All right. Blom walked me through a process wherein he was able to transfer some of these plant powers to me. You've never heard of this at all?
No.
Does that sound true?
Make an insight.
It's a natural 20.
Natural 20.
Nice.
It does seem true. Not only does it seem true, she thinks you're lying. She thinks that's bullshit.
I mean, are you able to throw a good punch?
I'm not going to do that.
Do you have a weapon?
Is there something I could do for you?
I wanted your help.
Help with what?
I've worked with trained herbalists before who've been able to help with my particular affliction, and I was wondering if you were a skilled enough herbalist to assist me with that.
No.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I was going to bring you a plant that had myconid extract in it, perhaps.
Well,
So
I'll buy it.
I will. No, I'm not interested in selling it. I'm interested in working with someone on it. But if you're not the person, then I'm sorry to have bothered you.
If you change your mind about selling it,
The note from Tessa. May I see it?
no.
Oh.
Okay, how close am I to the Okex
Oh, no.
Zarifa or whatever?
Within arm's reach, you walked over to it.
Okay, great. I'm gonna try and grab it quickly.
Okay, as you reach out to grab it, it does that thing.
Is it like in a pot? Or
Yeah, it is in a pot.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and grab the pot.
Okay, it still does the thing simply
Yeah.
because it's sort of detecting
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna
motion.
try and
Oh my god.
She doesn't like stop you.
the note from Tessa.
No.
I'm gonna start to leave.
She lets you leave.
Really?
She looks you over as you're walking, and you sense for a moment that she like might reach out to stop you. You look way more physically formidable than she does, and she doesn't stop you.
God, motherfucker.
You give a look back, and you see her like.
Phaedra, the note, please.
I can't give you the note. I gave it to manager when I gave him your note.
Does that seem true?
Make an insight.
Oh my god.
Erland.
19, 18.
It does seem true.
Oh.
Shit. Ask him for it.
He's gone.
Well, wait for him then.
Put the plant down on the ground.
Thanks.
Put it back.
How much for the Fravi flower?
You just want the raw flour?
Is it processed when I got it last time?
No, you
No. Yes.
10 for flour.
10 gold per flower?
Yeah.
I'll take 2.
She first reaches down to the floor and slowly picks up the buckler plant and puts it back on its shelf. And then she plucks a couple of frothy flowers off of the stem there and hands them over and give her the 20 gold.
You're aware of what these do?
Yes?
I'll see if I can bring you back a myconid-infused plant.
That would be nice. All right. If there's anything else you need, I prefer you pay for it, so just let me know.
Are there any skilled magic users in town?
In what way magic?
Someone who can help me with this stupid magic page.
No.
No.
Thank you, Phaedra. I'm sorry for stealing you. Thank you.
Plants, potions, you come back here.
Walk in and mansplain a woman's plants to her. You know what this does?
I thought she was going to help me more.
Safira and Graven head down toward the dock. And just past manager's painted office, you allow kind of Safira to lead the way because you haven't been to manager's office.
Can I say that I grabbed my pelt off of the horse before
Sure, we can
went
say that
over?
you grabbed it.
Okay.
This Elatrian sword off my horse.
Okay, great. We'll do so.
God.
So right by the office, just a couple doors down, there's a building where kind of if you crane your neck, you can see into a cramped backyard that has a furnace and an anvil. There's neither kind of currently in use, but providing some signs that you are indeed at a smithy of some sort, even if it's sort of basic in its efforts. The first floor windows are completely blown out, and there's ash around the sills, almost like there was an explosion at some point kind of coming from within. There's pieces of glass that are both on the sill and a little bit outside, so the explosion looks like it was in, kind of coming out, as opposed to out coming in. And inside you can see some weapons, some armor, things hanging on the walls there that are sort of hung up.
Does it look of good quality?
Serviceable quality? Yeah, it doesn't seem like garbage.
Serviceable.
I mean, you're in Kukati Cove. It's not exactly delicious. What can I say?
I guess the half plate armor that I found was it
That you're wearing.
that I'm wearing. Yeah. Did I find that it had any kind of specialty craftsmanship to it? Did it look very plain?
It's pretty basic functional. I mean, it fits you well because it was made for a Goliath. Yeah, but it didn't seem to have any. It doesn't have any markings, and you have a sense, roughly, if something it had was like magical, and you definitely don't.
Right.
That's right.
And Goliath tribes may have, again, if it was simple, maybe one of the tribesmen people did it themselves, kind of.
Yeah, it could have been just been crafted by the owner.
All right.
Do I see someone where I can? Kind
Not
of, like,
you can
find
kind of peek in the
out?
window and see the interior, but
Kind of
you're
careful,
outside.
being careful with the glass. I want to kind of peek in and see if I. Hello, is there anyone in there?
Give me a moment.
Okay.
There's a moment that kind of goes by, and the door opens up. It's a tall, slender human man with cropped blonde hair. It doesn't match his very dark brown goatee. It seems either his hair or his goatee is dyed in some way. He's wearing a paper-thin robe of bluish sheer material that leaves very little to the imagination.
Okay.
And all included, he must have like 20 or more rings, at least 2 for fingers. Like every finger on his hands is like 2, 3, 4 rings, like all up and down his finger. And as he opens the door, he kind of slides one hand up the door frame.
Something I can do for you?
Yes. Do you buy items?
Yes.
Okay, brilliant. I'm gonna get out the silvered gloves.
Well,
and...
come on in.
Oh, kind of trying to look at him in the right places. I'm gonna like go in.
He motions inside, but he stays in the doorway so that you have to like walk by
I'm
him.
gonna kind of, yeah, cheers, and it's kind of sidle past him.
After you.
Goes inside.
Did any of the rings look anything like our friend's Band of the Benefactor?
No.
Okay.
They did definitely
They're all
not.
They're all pretty fancy.
Band, yes, they're nice, and they're like sort of mostly gold and silver, and
Right.
you know, some of them have sigils on them, not that you recognize, but like designs on them. And
No
stuff, but-
raccoons or anything?
No.
I still have that. Still have it.
So he comes in, and then Graven follows in, closes the door behind him. He kind of motions around to the walls. There's some workbenches and things.
So, I saw you walk out with manager, and I saw you come back with manager. I guess that makes me open for business.
Yes,
Finest hands in Kukati at your service.
Okay, so, kind of ignoring that and plowing on, I'm reaching into my bag and pulling out could you, make any use of these?
What are you pulling out?
The silvered gloves. Sorry.
I could buy them.
Right.
Bit of good silver is always nice.
Sure. I kind of have leather armor, my old leather armor. This, I assume, is a little bit less useful to you, but...
Used.
Yes.
Sometimes I like something with a bit of mileage.
Right, no, it's got good history.
I will buy, yes.
Okay, right, and...
How much?
For the gloves and the armor?
Yes.
Sort of make a note. So it's a piece of leather armor, and...
Chucky Cheeks? What's his name? Cody Cheeks?
Come on, man!
He offers 5 gold for the leather, so it's
Okay,
about half of
okay,
a buying. I mean,
okay.
that's not crazy. That's not like an unusual buying price. And then for the gloves...
You said 5 gold, right?
Yeah, 5 gold for those.
Yeah.
And then he offers 20 for the...
Oh, okay.
Well, we want.
Right. That's a fair price. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
I've got this sword and a set of scale mail that has been, as you can see, and I'll kind of show the lining inside. That has been outfitted.
Looks comfortable.
Yes. I know it might not fit someone who frequents the town here, but is it something you could still be interested in buying?
I could probably make it fit.
Oh, Matthew. Good.
He offers you.
He's killed him.
He offers you 50 for the scale mail, which for you, scale mail is pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
He likes you.
And then what was the other? It was the scale mail and the
one of the
latrine sword.
latrine sword.
Great. So that's basically sort of a well-crafted long sword.
We're not really
He offers you 10 for the latrine sword.
Orba's like, I have to go.
Great.
I had a question for you. Sorry, were you finished? Please. Sorry, so I have this, and I'm pulling out the wolf pelt.
Nice.
Now this cloak is quite important to me. I was wondering if you could maybe sort of marry the two together.
Work the pelt into the cloak.
Yes.
Can you leave it overnight?
Yes, I suppose I could.
I could do
Right. Kind of like looking him up and down. Did you fashion this yourself?
that. No.
Oh,
Got it from a traveler.
right.
I like to pick things up from people who pass through town.
Okay, fair enough. Right. And I'm like kind of a little distrustful of it, but I'm kind of taking the cloak off. And how much for you to do the sewing?
Let's call it 15.
Does that seem like a fair price?
For some custom work, especially it's like this is the White Wolf. pelt.
Yeah.
I mean that's requires a skilled hand. Yeah, that's not just
Okay.
a
It's
cheap.
gonna be so fucking sick.
Right, okay. And I'm gonna hand him 15 gold. Please be careful with this. Bit of a keepsake for me.
I'm always careful.
Of course.
DM question.
Yeah.
Is it pretty widely known that the Shade Assembly is in Finlock Forest? Is that like...
To your
Based there.
random average person might not know that, but that's also not like a great secret. Like
Okay.
people wouldn't be like, oh, you
Yeah.
know
How do you know?
yeah,
All right.
I would not.
Kill him immediately.
All right. Cody, is it?
You could call me Cheeks.
Thanks. If... I had a friend who may have unloaded a weapon in the northeast as well. Maybe even more northeast than here. A totem. Have you seen anything like that come through here?
I wish.
Right. Any dealings with those that come from Finlock Forest around here?
I've had some people pass through who are looking for refinement of their weapons.
Right. But certainly no totem.
Not a totem. I think I would have remembered.
Right.
But if you need anything sharpened, refined, enhanced, you come to Cheats.
Right. I think that's it for me.
Yeah, I think
He motions as he was sort of saying that too. There was that rack of sort of pretty basic, sort of functional, and then it looks like there's sort of a behind kind of out of the sort of main area. He has some very better sort of weapons that he spent more time on. I'll also say functionally, mechanically wise, as you look at them, he seems capable of turning weapons into +1 weapons, refining them to the point of making them quite.
Do I see anything that looks like the Elatrian sword that I have, or has he worked with that kind of a weapon before?
There's in his little rack of sort of refined weapons. There's a sword. There's a bow. There's a few different.
There's
ones.
a bow as well.
There is, yeah.
Oh God.
Have you done any work with magical weapons?
What kind of magic?
Well, and I'll take the mace from my hip.
Franco, right?
Yes, actually.
We're old mates. We used to sail together. Always had an eye for the odd trinket. He hung on to that piece for years. Couldn't find someone who had the right set of skills to make the purchase worthwhile. I always told him that I thought I could refine it a bit, but he never let me try. Very protective of his possessions, I'm sure you know.
Well, this is something that has worked for me. You think you could enhance it?
The mace draws power from pummeling its foes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think with some minor modifications to its shape, it could be more effective at doing just that. Of course, I would be the first to admit that I'm no magic item maestro. It's possible I could damage it, but I trust myself well enough to try. If you do.
It wouldn't be useless if something went wrong. How long would this take?
I could do it overnight.
And for how much?
Say a price and I'll say yes or no.
Oh, come on.
75.
Done.
Oh no!
Oh, that's too fast.
All right.
He takes the mace and very carefully brings it over to kind of a clean space on the workbench. Counts out the money, pays him.
And
Okay.
I saw a bow that he's worked with over there.
Yes.
Yes, but you don't look killing
I have a longsword. It's of Elatrian origin. Could you work with something like that?
Of course.
Right.
These are not for sale,
Oh.
but I could work with one of yours.
Do I see anything that looks better than the longsword that I have? Or
I mean, there is a longsword that's quite fine there.
Okay.
Again, sort of mechanically wise, these are +1 weapons, which give you +1 to attack and damage rolls.
Okay.
But he's saying that he could take a weapon that you have already and
Okay.
refine it into a better enhanced weapon.
or I could just purchase one off him.
Well, he was saying they're not for
Just
sale.
said
He was pointing to those ones and saying those
right.
aren't for sale.
And same question about magical weapons. I see that you've worked with bow and arrows. I have one that's quite special, so I'm partial to it. It's almost alive. Have you ever seen it? And I'm gonna kind of take off the bow and just kind of, without handing it to him, present it to him.
I have not, but the process for refinement is not too difficult. I could make it work.
How confident are you that you could make it work?
For that process, quite confident. I do it all the time.
Oh,
If you have the coin.
I think I'm gonna be all right in that department at the moment.
600 then.
Might I ask why?
A weapon of that kind strikes true far more often than its counterparts.
I suppose. You said it would be overnight.
Yes.
I will have to mull that one over.
Fine.
But thank you.
Yes, of course.
How much for the longsword? And I'm gonna kind of show him the longsword as well.
Are you offering to sell it?
No, I mean like I'm offering for him to refine it.
Oh, it's the same price. Yeah, that process of refinement.
Oh, it's 600 gold for either of my
To
weapons.
refine a weapon.
I see.
600 gold, yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's good information. I will think if I decide to do that, then I'll come back later with more.
Just make sure you come by before it's too late in the evening.
Sure, when would be too late?
Probably before 7.
Before 7, okay.
You can pop by late, but we'll have to do something else without time.
Aha. I will keep that in mind. Yes, okay, thank you. And I'm kind of like with Graven, kind of like almost holding myself on him to like make sure I'm not uncomfortable. Do you want to, I have a question for Orba.
Sure.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. Thank
Be
you.
back in the morning.
See you then.
Head outside.
You all right?
Yeah, sorry, I was having a really hard time with the whole cloak and the
Eccentricity.
sailing and it was a lot. Why do you think he undercharged you so much? 600 gold?
I don't know. Maybe I should have been the one to offer.
No, I mean, what makes me upset is I'm right interested in that. I think that's not a bad idea, but I don't want to waste 600. I mean, assuming Cliff's gonna send us supplies, but
I only have about
I'll have to
200 gold
ask
at this
Orba.
point. I mean,
and
That's a big chunk of
that's
that
most,
new gold.
That's most of it. It's most of it.
Orba's already spent it by the time you get
And
Maybe-
who knows if he's gonna need something
maybe-
refined or she doesn't really need anything refined. I don't know.
he seems like someone you could barter with in other ways.
I had that thought. I'm not opposed to bartering with him, and I will, but I'm not gonna just hand him 600 gold. But I do need to be prepared to if I want him to do it. So I suppose I should ask Orba if that's even in the cards.
No, I mean, I think you might. Never mind.
What?
You might have to offer him a little bit more, something other than gold.
What?
I don't know. Like a dance or something.
I'm not a particularly good dancer, but yeah,
I proved on the mountain that I'm not either.
something else. I'm not opposed to offering him 600 gold.
It's a lot. I mean, do we even know exactly what?
He seemed confident about it. He seemed really confident.
Yeah, to be clear, those two refinements he was talking about were different refinements.
They are very
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, like he was talking about enhancing the magical
magical
aspect,
not the
weapon.
plus one.
Yeah.
Whereas the plus one he was talking about physically enhancing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I wanted that mace to become a +1 mace, it probably
That's,
would have been way
it's more.
Also,
so you're not.
I'll say, as you were like handing it to him, part of his possibly accepting a reduced rate was his interest in it. I mean, clearly he recognized it. He was interested in tinkering with this item from a time ago.
So he just didn't. He wasn't just hot for me.
Doesn't hurt.
You don't know that wasn't the hot for her offer.
That's true.
Oh, that's true.
That's true.
For you, not
+1 weapons are
Yes.
very
I mean,
pricey.
the +1 to attack and damage rolls. That's huge.
plus 9.
Yeah, that would
1d8
be pretty,
plus
that'd be
4
pretty
piercing
sexy.
damage.
Yeah.
So as you guys are headed, are you heading back to the house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, start to head back in that direction. We'll pivot over to the house where Orba has had some time to herself.
Just kidding.
Give me an Arcana check with advantage because this isn't a spell. It's not like a spell that you don't know anything about. You can do it with advantage.
Oh yeah, BB. That's a 25.
25. Okay. You really take a moment. You pick each of the orbs up very carefully. You inspect them. You watch as that swirling kind of gold flake energy sort of goes around. It seems to be almost like liquid inside, even though it's clearly not. Like as you move the orb, then the liquid is delayed. Like it moves after you've moved it. Yeah, so it has a kind of almost like a aquatic element to it. As you're inspecting them, it does look like, similar to the chest of gold, that this case might have been bumped or picked up quickly. There's a crack in one of the orbs. So there's 5 fully intact orbs and a crack in one of them, and that one also has the gold sort of energy within is noticeably less. Like it's just a little bit of sort of flickering golden energy.
Okay.
You spend some time trying to understand the properties of this item. And you recall back to reading a book at the Halls of Transmutation. And you remember a passage about an item called a Betterment Bauble. B-E-T-T-E-R-M-E-N-T. Betterment Bauble. And I will just read it.
Oh, fuck.
This delicate orb of energy responds to strong feelings of physical and mental unfulfillment. If you smash the orb at your feet and visualize in your mind an improved version of yourself, you can choose one ability score and gain a +1 bonus to that score for 1 year.
What?
1 year? And we have 12?
No, we have 5 and then 1 kind of janky one.
Oh, okay.
Relax.
Absorbing too much of this magic can be detrimental to your health.
Oh,
if you're
no.
already under the effects of a Betterment Bauble when you use another one, you roll a percentile D100 with a DC of 85.
Oof.
And on a failure, instead of increasing the ability score by 1, it's reduced by 3 instead.
Oh, no.
And then if you continue to use them, the difficulty increases from there. So
Oh,
you have
fuck.
5 Betterment
That's
So you have to
so
roll
cool.
85 or higher?
to use multiple.
Second one, yes.
That shit's probably worth 500 gold right there.
So to just use one, there's no potential side effects. Like, yeah. So
There's 4 in a broken one.
no, there's 5 in a
5 and a broken one.
That's perfect.
And I just want to make sure it's +1 to the ability score, not the
modifier, the
Great.
score. Yes. So in order to increase your modifier, it has to be an odd number. Odd numbered.
Relax.
I can't believe it.
So
I can't believe it.
would I?
Cody cheeks. John.
Sorry,
There's people in the room with you.
Would I imagine that the cracked one would have just no effect? Or
It's honestly difficult to tell. It might be a little unstable. You might get a benefit from it. You
Plus
might
4
not. It could be dangerous. Like it's a lot of potent kind of magic in it, or it could give you the benefit, but for a shorter period of time.
1 year?
got it.
1 year.
Okay. Cool. All right.
That's
Sweet.
a lifetime.
Erland's gonna be dead in 6 months.
Depending on how long that took, and if anybody came back, if nobody is back at the house,
Nobody's back yet.
or was gonna take a second and try to just pluck at the lyre to try to see if she
Okay.
can like figure it out. Yeah.
So sweet.
She's gonna try to see if she can understand it. I'm
Give
sure
me a
she can.
performance check. With disadvantage. 'Cause
Oh.
you don't know how to play.
Performance. Disadvantage. Oh, 10.
10. It's not so much that you immediately pick it up, but you pluck and you try to like harken back to the notes that Erland played, and you kind of you just try and emulate a few of those musical bars that you heard. It's not perfect, but you're able to kind of just get a little bit of the melody.
Cool. Put it back gently. Alright.
Waiting there for the people to come back.
Yeah, well, fuck. Was there anything else that I needed to do? There was no mentioning of like, does this town seem like they could have diamonds in it? By any chance? I would have to.
Hard to tell, and certainly nobody that you've seen or like a business that was referenced sounded like it would have something that valuable. Just offhand.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think I'm good to just chill while
Okay.
they come back.
All right. While Orba waits for her companions to return, that's where we're gonna take a little break. When we come back, we will reconvene and then possibly head out for
Better
Kukati
ourselves.
Cove. Yes, better ourselves, but
Oh
also
my
head out.
god.
Thank you guys so much. I hope you're enjoying our little wandering and excursion through Kukati Cove.
Even a shopping episode in a little bit.
Yes, a couple finding out what the citizens of Kukati Cove have to offer us and what's expensive and what's feasible. Yeah, some things to mull over. We'll see you guys on the other side. Quick break. Come back.
Oh my god.
During the break, everyone will be discussing how they will better themselves. We'll see you guys on the other side. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tabletop Notch. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We're doing a little bit of shopping around town in Kukati Cove before we take a nice rest in a house all to ourselves. And then we think about what lies beyond along the coast and the Isthmus of Rickra.
Make some s'mores tonight or something.
Oh, sounds good. But before we get to that, as always, please.
All right, here we go. Oh, I didn't scroll down fast enough. I'm so very sorry. 911 LS resubscribe. resubscribed. Shadow Lord cheered 245 bits. Ice Truck 6 gave out 100 bits. Jeremiah gave out a community sub. Broken Dragon Scale resubscribed. Broken Dragon Scale then did 2,000 bits. Warhelm resubscribed. Ignorant Science subscribed. Ali Slayer 100 bits. Oh, Pedomo resubscribed. Hello and welcome. Cool Schaefer resubscribed and gave out 500 bits. Ali Slayer did 100 bits. Richard Stroke subscribed. Ali Slayer did 100 bits. Jack Power got 5 community subs. Ali Slayer did 100 bits. Ali Slayer gifted a sub and then another 100 bits. Jatooty Djibouti resubscribed. Jeremiah did 100 bits. Ali Slayer did 100 bits. I think everybody bidded for each time that they were sexually aroused.
Or uncomfortable. They were like, get this guy out.
Please make it stop. Anything to make it stop.
Thank you guys. Very, very, very
Those
much.
bits were for the tits.
Goodness.
Matt, how cheap you were.
That took me too long.
We return to just outside of Phaedra's house, where Erland has just shut the door behind him,
Like a jerk.
purchased a couple of the Fravi flowers, and now sort of looking at the docks and the people milling about in the town of Kukati. Where are you headed, Erland?
I'm gonna head to manager's
Okay.
office.
You may do so.
Just a rid
You work your way down again. Some of these narrow walkways, pushing past some people. Now, no longer kind of getting that stink eye that you were getting before. You get some. It's not sort of welcoming, but some nods. Some people understanding that you at least sort of performed a service for the town, recognizing that.
Around manager, I know that the front door was like steel or something pretty
Yes, it's like
intense.
panels of metal and wood. Yeah.
Are there any like windows? Is there a roof?
There
Is
are windows and a roof. The windows have curtains drawn at the moment.
Nothing's open.
Not that you can see. No. And the place isn't big. It kind of the only entrance you can see is either that one big metal door out front, or there is like balconies on the upper level.
Is it pretty? How many people are around? Is it pretty wide open?
No, his office is right by the docks. There's tons of people. I mean, tons. It's a small place, but like dozens of people.
Okay. I'm just gonna give the front door a knock. Then maybe there's an attendant.
You give a knock, and nobody says anything from inside. Someone's passing behind you. He's not here.
Is there an attendant or anything? An assistant?
Nope.
There's no back alley or anything. It's like truly.
No, his place is literally like half hanging out into the bay. Like it's right
sick.
there on the docks.
Okay.
Yeah. Like his balcony looks out into the
Oh, it's a bummer. I'm going back to our home.
Right, you head back.
There you go.
As you're heading back,
People, man.
you start to walk up that sort of eastern side of the walkway, and you're in the like a little ways up, like another 50, 60 feet. You can see Graven and Safira, who also are heading back in that direction. They get up to the door of the house.
Orba's on the porch taking off the blue flag now that you found us.
Okay.
Hi,
Hi.
Hello.
how'd it go?
Not well.
What happened?
She didn't know anything about the page. It's just
No way.
town policy.
Okay.
Okay.
Not
So,
town
nothing.
policy to not know.
No, town policy to hand off items of significance to manager prior to.
Nobody knows how to fucking erase it? How hard could that be?
We'll consult people and just give them
I
time. It's not going to be
could
immediate.
possibly send to someone again tonight.
Who would you send to?
As she said, Celis.
Oh, right.
Josco.
Right, of course.
Right.
Wait.
Additionally, she.
Celis.
Yeah.
You walked past him.
A creature you're familiar with. It's more than just like seeing them once.
Because I was talking to him before we left.
But you weren't introduced. Yeah, he wouldn't be able to.
Thanks a
Josco.
lot.
Sorry.
She's an herbalist. She sells. I bought some Fravi flowers that I could perhaps
Oh.
enhance in some way, but she also has potions. Are there potions that we need? Are we expecting?
Ah,
Should I wait
yes.
for the potential shipment from Cliff before purchasing something?
Could always use more.
Yes, because she also might have distilled Riot root. It's a sort of healing potion that I was given by Celis once. It provides you like a temporary boost, but it would be very helpful for me when I'm in my special place.
Right.
Some healing potions? How many healing potions?
So I need- yeah.
How many
Well,
does she
before
have?
we make
Got
a
plenty
big
of gold.
purchase there, I have so we met the blacksmith. Bit of an
Jinx?
eccentric. Yes. You can see like something wash over Safira's face as you say that.
Color draining a bit.
He's a very sensuous person. I think I'm
Yes.
using that right.
I think that adjective is exactly right, Graven. So I'm not exactly sure. I think he can maybe be bargained with, but my bow, he can potentially enhance it and do it quite a bit. I'm not sure either of you, I don't think, have weapons that need enhancing in any way.
I don't think he would be able to improve upon my scythe.
My nunchuck, if I remember correctly, is already enhanced. It cannot be enhanced further.
It can. That might be exponentially more expensive to do so, but it is possible.
The Dodd's old nunchaku are already enhanced.
Right, so he said that he could do that, and he was quite confident about it with my bow, which would obviously be brilliant, but he was gonna charge 600 gold. I know.
What kind of enhancement are we talking about here?
I'm gonna kind of describe to her what he described to me.
Improving the accuracy and the sort of
accuracy.
Wow.
Could be quite a big enhancement. I'm not sure it's worth that much, although it would be worth quite a lot to me. So I was hoping to at least be able to go back and bargain with him. I was gonna offer maybe. He seems like the kind of guy. He said that he likes things with a bit of a history. So I've already given him something to craft for me, but I'm wondering if there's anything that we have that we can bargain that has history. Or I suppose I was gonna say maybe we could go over and spend some time with him and share stories, and perhaps that would be worth something to him, and maybe he would give me a bit of a cheeky discount, shall we say. So I thought, I don't know if you're alright with that, but I would be willing to.
Well, the only other large cost I was considering was, and I don't know if we're going to find it here, but diamonds.
I don't think
well.
we'll
I
find it
asked
here.
Cliff and Pockets about that, but whether they'll bring any, I don't know.
Oh, you mentioned it to them? Oh, good. Maybe
I
they...
said if possible, yes.
Okay, so if they include that, the only other bargaining chip I have of significant value is the peridot gem that our halfling kobold lover friend gave us when he stole Erland's clothing. Theocus.
What is it?
It's a peridot. It's a gem.
gemstone.
Do I know how much that would be worth, or?
I think I told you at the
Yeah.
time. I can
I'll
look
have
up
to
really
double
quick.
check, but it's hundreds of gold,
Okay.
right? Or is it 100?
It might be one.
Hundreds of.
I'll find
Say
it.
1,000.
Sorry. Let's just round up. I'll find it.
But anyway, so that's another possibility.
If you'd be comfortable with it, then I would maybe offer that to him. But it's it's up to you. I think I could be more useful with this weapon enhanced, so I do think it's worth maybe a shot.
All those
I wonder if he's a gambling man.
I don't know. I suppose you could offer to play.
His strange dressing reminded me of a...
How was he dressed?
He was underdressed, one might say.
And
Like, didn't have like a shirt.
It was just sheer.
Very-
It was very
What
sheer.
was sheer?
his robe.
The whole thing was you just see everything. No mystery.
What I was thinking was, has anybody ever seen when, as part of a game or gambling, each person as they lose, they remove an item of clothing?
Oh, I have seen this. That's not a bad idea.
I wonder if he
That's
would.
not a bad idea.
I wonder if he would play a game
You haven't
like
seen
that.
this? Oh, it's a not that. Don't ever do anything you're uncomfortable with. But it doesn't matter to me. I suppose that's not bad. Maybe the gemstone. We bring over some gold and perhaps a bit of strip whatever might be enough.
What?
Well, you have to meet him. I don't know how to explain. You'll know when you get there.
Just an idea.
It's not a bad idea.
Just an idea. Does that seem?
Are
You're
those
intrigued by this?
Are those orbs you got worth something, so that perhaps we don't have to take off our clothes?
You don't want to?
Not if we have the gold to do so.
You don't have to. I think
Planning on coming back to this town?
that's true.
What does that have to do with anything?
Then I'm never gonna see
And-
you again. Won't
100
we?
to 150 gold.
Impossible to embarrass yourself, I suppose.
Okay, so the orbs, pretty simple. They just enhance like a particular ability about yourself. For an extended period of time. I would only recommend using one, but you just smash it at your feet and you feel the infusion immediately.
Ah, that's a bit scary, but that's.
So there's
Right.
5, 1. The
The
sixth
hell
one is
was on this ship?
Goodness, that's.
That's worth quite a lot.
I was gonna say.
We should use that though.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We
Well,
should
there
use
were
that.
5 that work. One is a little like it could be a little temperamental, so maybe not so much that one.
Oh, maybe let's not experiment
Sure.
in that way.
So
yeah.
one for each of us, and then we would have one left over that's good and one left over that's a bit of a question mark.
Wow.
Maybe somebody could fix that last one.
Possibly
That's
Palamer might
brilliant.
be interested in it.
Palmer or
That is brilliant.
The potion that we found in the Cold Lightwalker's lair, who has that? I could perhaps get that identified by Phaedra.
the vial.
Yes, actually, sort of to loop in, we emailed about this when he was out. So during your travels from Goliath here to Kukati Cove, Graven produced that satchel that had the material components in it, and actually Safira was the one to recognize it.
Cool.
It's called moon putty, and it was used for military purposes, although it's sort of less used nowadays. And it's a substance that as soon as it's exposed to air, it starts to harden a little bit. And what people would do is you take it out and you smear it across your eyes, and it lets you like see through it, but it keeps things like dim and dark. It keeps like bright lights out of your eyes.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
That would have been good.
So that's what seems to be what it was being used for, so that the mage could get closer to the Cold Lightwalker. But yeah, so she recognized that.
Could I
Use that when we're playing strip poker.
put it over my Goliath Johnson? So when I cast spells, certain spells especially, I have to have my token,
Divine focus.
my focus in plain view.
You have to display it. I think
Display it. I wouldn't be able to perhaps obscure part of it, like kind of make a putty around a part of it that would maybe just obscure its shape, but I would still be presenting it.
You couldn't like completely encase it.
Yeah.
But you could. It can be dirty or like have some stuff on it and still be
Yeah.
able to use it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
If you were trying to just make it not so obvious what it was, you could probably do that.
Get away with
Yeah.
that. Just like, because it's got, it had a pretty clean break.
Yeah, the break's
and
pretty
it
clean.
has the.
It's got the circle and then two of the arrows that are sort of perpendicular to.
Yeah, like that.
Yes. Yeah. More or less.
So if I did some kind of something down here, I could.
Yeah, or like you could
made it
obscure
like a little map.
you could obscure part of it with putty as long as like most of the symbol is still showing.
Yeah.
You could use that.
Or even filled in the circle or something
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yes. As we spoke about before, the moon putty.
Yes.
But I was thinking about possibly using that to just obscure the shape of this a little bit, so it's a little less recognizable.
Sure.
If anybody had any other use for it, happy to.
We should perhaps see what we're dealing with in the Shade Assembly. There could be powerful magic used. We're not going to go for any towns between now and Finlock Forest.
You're right. Any potions that we need, we should pick up now, regardless of what Cliff sends us. It's not bad to have doubles.
But also in regards to your sort of sigil, people wouldn't see that.
I don't know, better safe
We're going to be in
than
the
sorry.
woods.
I know.
I agree with Graven. I think it's better to be safe.
I've gone this long, without very many people recognizing it. So
Oh, but
But also, like, you guys have met people on the road. It's not unheard of to
Yeah.
run into someone.
that plant that you've been carrying around.
Yeah.
The one from Grimari's office?
Yeah.
Phaedra was Phaedra's very interested in it.
Okay.
Should I bring it over to her?
She can't keep it.
To what end?
She wanted to buy it.
No.
No. She likes it.
To look at it?
She can look at it.
Study it for a night?
She can do that. The only person I would ever give it to is you, and you don't want to eat it, so.
How's it looking?
It's looking better now that you've had a couple
It's, like,
days.
warm and
yeah, where it's
gotten
been
some
you've been on the
sun.
coast and it's been it's looking quite
Can
well.
I sort of go up to it again and
As soon as you hold a hand out close to it, you again feel that just almost like someone's lightly pulling on your fingers, like just something that sort of wants to draw energy from within. Like you had the same sensation before is like you get the sense that you could kind of touch it and pour some energy into it if you wanted to.
Alright, yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna pour some energy into it.
Okay. You're gonna go up one sepsis, and then I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh my God.
See if you go up a second one.
what is happening right now?
So Erland touches it very lightly.
Pass.
And immediately some of the colors kind of drain from his arm, and it kind of flows in. And immediately the plant, which is again this kind of bamboo stalk, sort of thick bamboo stalk, it like swells a little bit, get a little more color in the bamboo. Some of the leaves kind of perk up ever so slightly as the sort of natural energy pours into it. And Erland, as he's touching it, kind of gets a sense of what this thing might be capable of.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! This is called...
Oh my god!
You just had the fucking red.
Miuherku, which is a type of plant. I'll give you the card for it. Once the plant reaches full maturity or becomes activated, which is what you've done, this thick yet flexible bamboo plant can dispense nutrients and excretes a soothing gel that relieves ailments. It reaches full maturity after 1 year of growth in fertile soil with adequate sunlight. Presumably it had not reached that to this point. Alternatively, the plant can be activated by infusing it with magic that is natural or druidic in origin, like Erland's magic that he's poured into it. While active or at full maturity, flora planted within 10 feet of the Miuherku can grow even in environments that would otherwise be inhospitable. That's one thing it can do. In addition, once per day, if a creature touches and maintains contact with the plant for 1 minute, you can choose one of the following benefits for the plant to bestow.
Oh my god!
Gain 2d4 plus 2 temporary hit points.
Oh,
That's
shit.
something you do. Gain inspiration. Or lower your sepsis level by 1. After you use it, you roll a d6, and on a roll of 1, it deactivates and would require another infusion of energy in order to use it again.
Okay.
So Erland has it at the moment,
But if you continue to roll 2 to 6s,
It would
each of us could
continue?
spend a minute with it.
once per day. Yeah, it's just once per day.
One each person once per day, or just one person per day?
Once it's used for the day, it kind of shrivels a little bit, and it
Yeah.
needs time to kind of recover.
But the roll of 1, it needs to be reactivated by like.
Yes,
he did.
if anybody rolls a 1 when they use it, it now needs to be reactivated again before it can be
But
used.
2 through 6, it comes back the next day.
Yes, it comes back the next day.
Does the inspiration you get end at the end of the day, or do you just have inspiration?
I don't think you know the answer.
Sort of take my hand off of it. It's like bloomed now a little bit, yeah? Or it's-
Yeah, there was kind of leaves on the stalks that have kind of expanded outward a little bit toward the light, and looks healthier immediately.
What'd you do?
Well, it looks good.
I don't think she should see this.
What? Why?
Phaedra shouldn't see this.
Why?
Is it
Yeah,
dangerous?
what's wrong with it?
No, I think that she's frankly not skilled enough to understand this.
What? Understand what? What
Enlighten
is it?
us.
We, I believe now, this is called a Miuherku plant. Yeah, close enough?
Miuherku?
Miuherku. A Miuherku plant.
Have you just been storing this information somewhere?
No, I'm sort of just learning about it now.
Yeah, it's almost surprising. Like, the name comes to you
Yeah.
when you touch it.
Whoa.
Like, you had never heard of that before.
No, cool.
Oh, I thought you went, oh! Ew! Oh, plant know things.
Once per day, we're going to be able to use this potentially
Draw
to
energy.
to draw energy from it, to boost our health, to make us temporarily stronger, to
Right.
fix my affliction temporarily.
Fuck's sake, and you just had to touch it and do that. The
Apparently.
whole time. We've just been carrying this thing
You're
around.
gonna get careful.
Careful,
back to
careful. And I'm kind of like, as he's handing it, now knowing how valuable it is, like,
She's gonna go to the top of the stock and good job.
Wobbles a little bit.
And puts it back and bites it. Well, that's surprising.
That is indeed surprising.
so I suppose we won't be taking it to
No,
Phaedra?
I'll simply ask for some healing potions and try and get some distilled rye through them.
Shall we give it a name?
It has a name.
No, I know, but I'm saying when I'm worried about losing something, I like to give it a name so that I don't forget it somewhere. I know it's a bit stupid.
Would you like to name it?
No. Looked at us, tried to see if something was gonna come to her instantly, and it didn't. So she was like, "We don't have to. Just don't want to hurt it."
I won't hurt it.
Well, no, I just mean Fred. Didn't respond. Okay.
Fred? Did you say Fred or friend?
I said Fred.
F-R-E-D.
Short for Frederick.
Well, it wasn't short for anything in my head, but I suppose it could be short for Frederick.
Fred it is.
Not that it matters, but Safira's gonna kind of like give it a pat now.
How long
It doesn't seem to respond to touch other than sort of
Yeah,
energy
no, I
that was
didn't think
infused.
it.
Yeah.
does it take a long time to give its benefits?
So,
You just get it.
Just no, it's like a minute.
For
You
1
have to
minute.
maintain contact with it. Yeah.
Right, I should head back to Phaedra then to try and see if potion. Oh, should we
Use the gold that we have here.
So we said, yeah.
should we use the bubbles
For what? Oh,
Oh.
literally
to
use
better
them?
ourselves?
You want to throw some stuff on the floor?
Who wants to go first? I'm a bit scared.
Or should do it at the same time.
Oh, okay,
Alright.
give me mine.
Very carefully.
Oh my God.
Whoever
And
throws
it,
the last
like
gold
I
in
said,
the
like
bench.
when you're moving it, it looks like liquid inside, like it's swirling around. Each person sort of touches it, holding it in their hands very carefully.
What do we have to do?
So you have to throw it against the floor, like right at your feet, and think really, really, really hard about what you want to be better at.
Okay,
You have to picture it in your mind.
yeah.
All right.
Right.
Ready? On the count of 3?
Yeah.
On 3 or after 3?
On 3.
On 3.
1,
2.
2,
3.
And immediately those golden sparkles, like the glass that breaks on the floor immediately like disintegrates. There's no glass left on the ground. Like the energy literally absorbs the glass and it swirls up your legs and kind of you feel invigorated for a moment and your eyes open wider than they've ever opened before. You all kind of look to each other and it's just a brief fleeting and then it's gone. And you just feel a little bit more powerful in various ways. What are you improving here?
So, because of how new Reaper Orba works, all of her like modifiers and abilities are like locked in, but she can swap them to different things. So like -1
School
strength
of the
becomes-
Harvest. Check it
School
out.
of the Harvest. Yes. So like strength -1 currently for Orba and an 8, then gets moved into a -1 charisma.
So you
like
rearrange your ability scores.
Yes.
In her other form.
So for regular Orba, she's gonna go from 15 charisma to a 16, and that will make her strength a 16 as well.
Right, so Orba feels in her normal form. You feel just a little bit of that sort of innate knowledge, charisma, sort of pouring through you. Graven, charisma as well. That similar sensation of just a little more astute, sort of being able to discern things from your allies and improved diction as you speak and deceive others. Safira, what are you improving?
Constitution.
Constitution, feeling a little heartier, as a little bit of energy pours through you and just makes you feel more steadfast. And Erland? Constitution as well.
Oh my God.
So if your Constitution goes up, you obviously get 6 hit points as well, for one for each level.
God.
No more people being like, you have a -1 con monk?
Who's this idiot? Look at this
Oh my
idiot.
God.
Amazing.
All associated skills as well for you, charisma
Oh shit, yeah, fuck.
users.
I'm gonna be
and
so
Constitution
charming.
saving throws, charisma saving throws, all of those for 1 year.
Baby.
So we're going to play strip pig or what?
Right now, can I go to Phaedra first? Meet you there?
Sure. I mean,
Yeah, well,
So we can
ask her about healing potions for sure. Did we think that we wanted more potions of water breathing?
if she,
If she
has,
has
them.
them, yes.
If she has those, if she had something that I could use to coat my arrows, that would be brilliant. So anything that does poison damage, necrotic, something, I don't know. Anything else?
Well, we need to budget because we don't know how much this guy's going to budge.
suppose. Let's actually, you know what we can do? Ask her what she has, come back, we'll see what kind of deal we can get.
Why don't we all go
from
there on the way?
Cheeks.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I suppose.
Good.
We won't.
Let's do
Well, we're
that.
gonna scare her off.
No, she's fine. Just no, Phaedra's cool, guys.
We got along great.
And then you gotta play the lyre.
Oh yeah.
Gotta have time for it.
Yeah. Graven hasn't heard you. Come on, you said you would. You said
will,
you would.
yes.
Okay.
I also suppose. I wonder if Cheeks will want to wait until after hours.
For strip?
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe we could
but he
invite
said
him
it would
over
be
to
too
our
late
place.
if we
Oh.
came after 7 for him to fix my thing.
I see.
So we have to go.
Right. All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go.
How's he going to play strip if he's already
We don't
not
even know
wearing
if he
anything?
is. We don't know if he is.
He had like
Let's just
clothes
see what
other
he
than the
says.
robe, right?
He didn't.
No, nothing to the
Freeballing
imagination.
it, baby.
I lose.
Maybe. Okay.
You can really only play like 2 rounds.
So no, each ring
Socks
is a
count as
round.
one each. Oh, rings.
All his rings are coming off.
Yeah.
So the party heads out. Where you guys headed to Phaedra's? Great. So as you guys head out, you immediately, as you exit the door and on back onto the kind of walkway there, you see down by the docks that there's a little bit of a crowd gathering down there before it even kind of you start to make your way across to the other side. They're all in the vicinity of this little kind of wattle and daub hut with a large rectangular wooden window that looks like it slides open horizontally. A couple of people that are down by there even unfolding a large hinged table and setting out some like stretched canvas seating down there, making like a little seating area. And just a few seconds later, the window shifts open and immediately some like steam billows out, and you see the face of a woman on the other side who seems to be like preparing meals, and some of these people immediately start to kind of line up there on the other side of the window. So you just see that happening as sort of her stand has opened up, the Enola that was mentioned in manager's note. But you guys make your way across. Not from where you are.
Okay.
If you were to walk down to Chili's place, that's right down by the docks.
Smells like the sea.
So you guys head back over to Phaedra's. Narrow door, tall chimney. There's still smoke coming out of the chimney, so it seems that she's in, as far as you can tell. Right? Go. You knock.
Are you all right? Yeah. Sorry, you said you sell potions and herbs and things. I came back with my friends to perhaps buy some.
Hi.
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 I prefer if you stay out this time.
That's fine, I apologize.
He took something from me last time.
Erland! Why? Sorry, why? He's the worst of us. I'm so sorry. Do you have any, trying to like salvage it, do you have any healing potions?
Yeah.
Right.
Standard or greater?
Oh, you have both?
Yes.
How much do they go for?
60 standard, 200 greater.
Is she upcharging because I stole shit?
Give me an insight check.
Usually they're 50.
I can have 13.
13. A little hard to tell, however, she doesn't particularly seem to be holding a grudge. It may be more to do with simply the scarcity of the materials to make it. Like, it's definitely more expensive than usual, but not necessarily because she seems to be mad at you.
And not exorbitantly so.
Yeah, just a little bit, yeah. Just a little bit more expensive.
Okay.
Healing potions, potions of watchful rest, potions of hill giant strength, potions of water breathing, distilled riot. That's all I've got.
Oh, right. That's brilliant.
How much for the distilled riot?
40.
And then how much for the water breathing?
Those are pretty popular here in Kukati, as you'd imagine.
Right.
People falling off the docks, falling off of ships.
Sure.
I'd rather not part with them if I don't have to, but if I had to, 75 per.
Okay. That's good to know. You wouldn't happen to have any poisons of any kind that I could use to coat my arrows?
Not my specialty, no.
Right, okay. And no plants that you know of that I could use in that capacity?
Enough for poisons, no.
Okay.
The Fravi flower that I purchased off of you, you seem to say you could enhance it in some way?
Ground Fravi flower enhances the effects of it, yeah.
How much would it cost to ground the Fravi flower?
Double the cost.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. How late will you be up and working?
I'd like to close up now so I could get something to eat, so what do you need?
Oh.
Will you be open in the morning?
Yeah.
We might be seeing you in the morning then, if that's all right.
Okay, fine.
Right.
Sorry again. Misunderstanding.
Sorry for him.
Anything else?
No.
No.
Okay.
I don't know that she should be breathing that in.
It wasn't a plant that I thought...
You know what, Erland? Did you try to eat it?
No.
Why not? If you're gonna steal it anyway.
Because I don't
know.
not how this works.
I don't know how it works.
Do we need to
You
eat
just
before
touched
we
the
go
plant.
and play strip?
Please.
Yes.
I'm really
Okay,
hungry.
let's go eat.
All right, you guys work your way down to that section. Give me perception checks as you guys walk.
Okay.
Oh my god, dirty 20!
Dirty 24. 22.
Nice.
As you guys are getting closer, you walk right by those two men that were setting up that kind of folding table right by the window, And Safira kind of notices it first and nudges Orba just because it's not something you recognize, but it just seems a little unusual. And then Orba immediately recognizes there's a pattern carved into the table that they've just folded out. It's 2 circles that are partially overlapping that looks very much like Hills and Valleys, like the game that you played. Like they have picked that up or heard of that game somewhere. It's literally carved into the table, so it looks like that they play it, with regularity. It's not temporarily drawn in the way that he had done with like sort of chalks on the stone floor. So you see that pattern on the table. And as you guys get a little bit closer, some of those smells start to waft into your nose. Those intoxicating smells. Grilled salmon strips, chunks of trout with chili and lime. And then there's some rings of onion fried in lard with a sweet onion sauce. So she's got kind of baskets full.
Oh, baby.
Let's eat onion rings and then get naked immediately.
That's gonna be an interesting game. I'm sorry.
Constitution
My cheeks full. Give me a Constitution saving throw, baby. We're ready.
On the other side of the window, sort of putting out these plates of food to people who are coming up and purchasing them, is a dwarven woman, very kind of dark hair that's braided into these very thick strands that cross over her shoulder and sit down by her hips. She has a tattoo of a codal, a winged serpent, that's sort of going up her neck, and then it ends like just on her chin.
There are serpents that have wings. Stop.
And then there are some signs of very rigorous culinary work. There's some burns and very fine scars along her fingers, just clearly from like a lot of chopping and working in the sort of heat of the ovens and things. So she's serving some of the stuff there. Some people have started kind of gambling, eating. A lot of the smells kind of wafting into your nostrils as you get closer.
It smells really good.
We would recognize the circles from when we woke up, I think. Right? Still...
Yes, I don't think she explained what the game was, but you saw them on the floor.
Them.
Yes, you saw
The Cold Light Walker symbol.
It's summoned.
That was on the ground where we were in that chamber.
Oh, yeah. What does that mean?
It's the game that Marcus wanted to play with me.
Marcus, huh?
Huh?
He points at the table. Picked up this game from the Goliath at Racioppo when I was there. They said they'd learned it from some fey folk in the mountains. Marcus, I think that's what the name was.
Yeah? Marcus of the Mountains.
We like it, mixes a bit of chance, bit of skill. Had this table made for my son so he could play it when he comes to visit.
Oh, cute.
That's very sweet.
Yeah.
Marcus created this game that you know.
That's where the Goliaths got it from. Never met Marcus myself.
He's an interesting character.
Anyway, heard the name. Kind of goes back to the table.
Are you okay?
Yeah,
Did
no.
something happen?
You usually love games.
I don't like this game.
Okay.
All right, we don't have to play that game.
We're about to play another game as soon as we eat this food.
I'm kind of gonna put my arm around Orba and walk. Doesn't it smell so good? Can you smell that?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm kind of trotting over.
Salmon, trout, onion. Pints of Corsair to wash it down. Tips go to the lucky board.
Points with her thumb to the side. And to her left, there's a tilted board that has a pattern of wooden pegs behind a glass pane. And there's 5 slots at the top, big enough to kind of drop the coin into. And at the bottom, there's 5 little compartments, and only the center compartment has a little, she's written, free meal in the center compartment. So tips go to the board.
Ooh.
Do we try that first? Try to get a free meal.
It's meant for tips.
Oh.
Right.
Oh,
You tip, you get your money back for your meal.
Well,
Toss the silver in the slot, you land in the middle, your meal's free.
Well, I would like
Just a bit of fun.
onion, please.
Onion.
Yeah.
1 silver, 2 copper.
She makes a little basket of those lard fried onion rings, slides it over.
Trout for me.
Trout.
That is 3 silver, 5 copper.
Trout as well, please.
That's a more fuller meal. It's a larger portion.
3 silver, 5 copies.
Mm-hmm.
Anything for you? Salmon,
Yeah.
trout, onion.
well, all sounds
Pints
really,
of Corsair to wash it down.
sounds really good. Can I get a pint? Can I also get some of the salmon and give me one of the onions as well?
That's a total of 4. That's just a total of 5 silver. 3
5
silver for
silver.
the salmon, 1 silver, 2 copper for the onion, 8 copper for the pint. So
Okay.
slides the salmon, basket of onion rings, and a nice pint of ale there.
Cheers. Thank you.
I'll take a piece of silver and.
Oh, dude.
What?
Oh.
Of course you do.
Here's a.
Oh my god!
So
Alright.
you just touch one of the numbers and it drops down.
Oh
And it needs to land in the
It
third.
needs to land in the free slot in order to get
Okay.
your meal for free.
I'm gonna take my silver.
Okay. Can I get this?
Yeah, center.
Oh, you can. Do you want it on the camera?
I was going to, yeah.
Let's see how that looks. Hold on
Does it
one
show
second.
up?
Let's see if we can get that.
Okay, I got it.
You got it.
Yeah.
Switch it over. Let's see.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, you want to come just so you can tap it? You
Tilt
gotta
it up a
control
little
it.
bit.
Watch your shit. Watch your
Yeah, watch your
gangliness.
shit.
Don't
Right,
hang
yeah.
Watch those
Here.
limbs, boy.
All those long ways.
Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, your head on your camera!
There we go.
There you go. There you go.
Drops his silver.
Oh! No! No way! No way! Not even close. Boo!
So you spend another silver there.
I want to try, Shane.
You may.
Oh my god.
I think I can
It's
reach
the
from
little
here.
thing.
I can also hit it.
No,
You're
want
No.
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 It changes everything.
How do I...
You just touch one of the numbers.
the-
Yep.
yeah.
Any of the numbers. Okay.
Oh, that's an idiot number.
Are you gonna do it?
Well, you want to go first? Or?
Remember to
No.
subtract
Okay,
the
I'll go.
silver.
Okay.
Yes.
I go. Orba for the win! Oh, look at this spreadsheet.
Whoa.
Okay,
With the power of the meddling god.
Stop.
No, no.
Oh.
Yeah, this is okay. Okay.
Yeah, careful of the microphone over your head.
Okay.
Go.
Wait, is it just a number? Can I kind of go between?
No, you have to hit a number.
No, you gotta...
All right.
Idiot.
What the fuck?
Shit is rigged. It's rigged.
Punch Enola right
I
in
got
the
the
face.
She's got 4
We're good,
silver
we're good.
out of that.
So you guys get your meals.
Throw the trout on the ground, smash it.
Find a second here to have a bite to eat.
Yeah, find out. There, you said there was like seat.
Like people
seating
were
and stuff.
unfolding seating. Some people are just sitting on the railings looking out at the bay and stuff.
I'm like struggling with my...
You have multiple
very meal.
sort of
Can I try one?
baskets.
Yeah, sure.
Onion ring.
Wow.
It's pretty good, right? I'm gonna start. Safira just kind of starts eating.
I mean, it's
and
been a while since you had a
drinking.
true
Yeah.
hot meal.
Oh.
Quite the nice sort of sweet honey sauce on the onion rings and chili lime on the trout.
Well, new rule: whenever you introduce food, you also have to bring it.
You don't want onion rings in this room?
Yeah, no, it'll never smell like anything else.
Have a moment here as you're eating.
So what's the plan with this? What's his name?
Okay, so my
The
plan.
new
My
man?
plan. Okay, so my plan was to first show him that stone.
Okay.
Because I thought that if that's worth something to him, then that could immediately bring down the price. If that brings down the price and we're dealing with something like 400 gold, perhaps, to do the thing, we might want to consider taking him up on that offer. But of course, we could also say, hey, what if we also threw in we're storied adventurers and I don't know, and
And
we
now
would-
you get to see us nude?
well, the pitch wasn't going to go exactly like that, but if we can think of something with a little bit more, something enticing, then maybe if yes, you
What's-
seem really not onto this idea. But
I
I'm
just
saying
don't know
it's
if it's gonna
600 gold.
He's an eccentric man.
The rope was
maybe,
very shit.
Maybe he would be interested in
I don't know.
new faces. I don't know.
I feel like you guys are walking around something and not explicitly saying something.
What stone do you mean? You mean one of the things that we just used?
No,
No,
my
I
paragon.
mean
The gem.
the
Oh,
gem
right.
stone. I'm wondering if that'll be valuable to him, and if he understands how much that's worth, then perhaps we can use that in lieu of gold, or at least in lieu of some gold.
Right.
Because, ask yourself how many of these potions we want. They weren't cheap, so.
Not at all. So I suppose we try the gemstone. We offer him a night of drinking and revelry, if he should be interested in that, and see how much that brings down the price. and then we decide if it's worth it. We have to decide before 7 because he said after 7 that would be too late. I don't know why.
Disrobing or no? Do we want to?
Too late to finish working on the item.
Before the
Yeah, before the morning. Yeah.
Is there a this seems to be like the meal place in town, right? Or does it,
Most people get their own food. This is where the one place where someone's preparing it. Yeah.
is there any like groups of people who seem to be like working on the docks? Are there like, do I see like dock workers coming in from?
Sure. It seemed like dockworkers came here to eat. Sure.
Oh,
yeah.
great.
I mean, there's a number of other tables, like the one that had the game on it, and there's a number.
Okay, cool. I just want to go speak with some of those dock workers to
Are
see
you
if
gonna
there's
steal
any.
their shit?
No, I want to ask if any candles have come in.
Okay, sure, please. Do you need help?
No,
I
sorry.
can't help. So you do it.
I'll sort of find a.
Yeah, there's a couple guys. There's the first pair that you walk up to, it looks like they're playing just a simple game of cards of some kind.
Hi. Sorry. Just came in. Manager sort of told us this was the best place to get food.
Yeah, we saw you walk out of town with manager, came back with manager.
Yes, and he said we should get food here.
Yeah,
Excellent.
food's good here.
Question for you. Do you work on you work with the shipments coming in?
Sure, yeah.
Have there been any significant shipments coming in of candles, by any chance?
Kind of looks at the other guy.
Can? Is that code for something?
No, candles, like artisan candles, perhaps for going either coming from Shashi.
Oh yeah, no, we've never had any of those.
Is Mr. Progston work here by any chance?
Progston? Don't know anyone named Progston. He looks to his friend. Progston? No Progston.
Do they seem to be like being closed-mouthed, like the way that they've been in the past?
Not particularly, no.
Oh, all right. Thank you. I thought it was worth asking.
You looking for candles?
I'd heard there were valuable candles being shipped, and I thought perhaps I could buy some if I knew where to put the right money.
If I see any candles, I'll let you know.
Are you using code?
Are you using code?
No, I'm looking for candles.
Are you looking for candles?
What does that mean?
What do you mean?
Oh my god.
Yes, I'm looking for candles.
I don't know what that means.
Thank you. The trout is delicious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get up.
As that was happening,
Yeah.
and Erland walks away,
Why is Erland looking for candles?
Did he not?
Oh, he didn't tell you the thing. I don't know. He's got a thing. You know how he is?
When he stepped away, and I mean, you can ask him this yourself. It seems like he shared it with you as well.
He did. He was trying to protect you by keeping the information from you.
He's.
And he
It has to
trusted
do
it
with
to me.
It has to do with his connection to the monastery. He's not even sure what he's looking for, but he's looking for candles.
To be frank, I have no fucking idea why it would be candles. I don't know. I don't think he wants you to know though. But
He's already coming back. He wasn't away for that long. He's coming back.
so just
Feel free to ask him about it.
Is candles code for something?
we don't
Nothing.
Nothing?
No.
know.
I don't imagine these dock workers open up everything that comes through here anyway.
No, I thought that maybe there'd be a ledger.
You thought that a dock worker was gonna hand you a ledger?
You didn't ask manager? He seemed like, wouldn't he be the one that would have known?
No, I forgot to ask him. Ortiz wanted me to find candles for his employer.
does that seem true to me?
You can make with advantage given what Safira and Graven just told you.
I'm never.
Why did you
Like-
say candles as you walked away?
You said it as you walked away. 14.
Yeah, it's something you're not exactly sure what, but something seemed unusual. I mean, given especially what Safira and Graven just told you, there seems something unusual that he's not telling you about that in particular.
Okay.
Right. As I was saying, aside from possibly disrobing, are we willing to gamble on possibly getting a discount? Having it be either less than 600 or even more than 600.
I don't
if we
want
lose.
to I would gamble something other than raising the price. If there's
Sounds like a great deal for you guys.
No, I mean we could gamble that
We put up something.
we put something up. I would rather do that than gamble that we raise the price, but I would rather not gamble it, to be honest.
Well, what's it? What are we gambling?
I mean, I don't want to gamble with whether or not I'm going to be able to get this done, is what I'm saying. And I think that if it...
We either pay the 600 or we get a discount somehow.
Well, but if you're gambling, that would imply that if we lose, the price gets raised. Otherwise,
That's
what's
what
in
I'm
it for
saying.
him?
And that's what I'm saying. What are we willing to put up? I mean, we have more of these
What's the
baubles
point
that we
of
just
taking
used.
your clothes off? I thought that was the wager.
He was the.
No, there was no... This was not agreed upon. We may
I
say
just
that
think
when
that-
we get there and he might laugh at us. I have no idea.
I just thought it would make it more enticing for this very strange man who showed us his genitals.
I don't know if he so much showed them to us, but they were
showed
on
you
display
his-
for whomever should choose to look in
That's
the wrong...
not right. He showed you.
No, it wasn't... it's not wrong or right. It's just sheer. It's a sheer tunic.
Are we willing to gamble something like one of those baubles that we just used?
Why wouldn't we just use the bauble to pay for it?
Well,
Is it worth? I don't know if it's worth 600.
I don't know that he's going to have any understanding of what that is or what it's worth, but I suppose we could try if we're willing.
I guess I'm confused as to what the difference is between bartering with an item and then just gambling it.
I would prefer
Except
to...
that you lose.
Let's do the bartering
Exactly.
route. I agree. I agree with
Okay.
Orba. I'm surprised that
Sorry.
you like gambling usually, but
Well, I want to play a game.
let's play games later.
All right.
Not in this, not with the
Ask you
stakes
guys to
aside.
fast forward this conversation. What are you guys attempting to do? It seems like people are not on the same page about what is being attempted here.
So, are we willing to offer up the stone?
Yes.
Well, let's say 400 gold, 450 gold. Are we willing to offer up that much?
That would leave like 250 left, right?
Is that too little? I've got in my pocket.
I've got some gold as well.
I've got 50 gold.
If he's amenable to that, fine.
Okay, so and then also we can try to maybe bring that 400 down by just Hail Mary offering something kind of stupid like a strip game.
Okay,
We'll see. Cross our fingers.
let's give it a shot.
Okay.
Hail Mary being one of the.
Yeah,
The primary clerics of.
She's one of the queens in Kiera. People would hail
Hail
Mary
Mary.
if they
Oh,
needed
God.
her.
Quickly
Mary of the
finishing
Lighthouse
my ale.
here on the coast. Hail.
You guys work your way back to just past. I mean, you're not far from there. Just past manager's office. You get to Cheeks' place, and you can hear in the inside maybe just some rattling and stuff. Some working being done in there.
Do you want me to try?
Yeah, you know what? I have a hard time looking in the right place.
Could I see the bauble?
The bauble or the peridot?
Wait, shit.
Gemstone.
The
We have a
gemstone.
gemstone.
Yep.
This is happening off camera next time.
We're hoping this gets us 200 gold off.
Let's not even put that out there. Let's just see how much he'll take off. We don't know if he knows. Maybe he'll overvalue it. We don't know.
All right.
Knock. Very quickly after, door opens up, and as he turns, and he's still wearing the same thing he was before, he's biting off a thread. It looks like he's in the middle of already sewing sort of Safira's. He's got the pelt from the White Wolf, and he's pulling the thread through this. Yes.
So, we were hoping to possibly make a deal for upgrading my friend's bow here.
Some sort of deal?
Well,
What did you have in mind?
I have this here that I think could lower the price for us a bit. Would you like to look?
Tell me how much you want off for it, and I'll say yes or no.
200.
No.
150.
Already said no.
That's a one-time thing, is it?
Yes. Anything else I can help you with?
Would you like to play games?
Sometimes.
I figured myself good with dice.
I like quick games, quick bit of fun. How about I roll this? You say high-low, and if you win, I say a number. You say high-low, and if you're right, I'll take 200 off for the gem.
All right.
That's okay.
So he's going to roll it,
Yeah.
and then he's going to pick a number. He's going to just say a number.
And
You have to guess whether the number he rolled is higher or lower. So it's a mind game. He's trying to
Yeah.
trick you a little bit.
Yeah.
He's going to roll a d20,
Yep.
and then he's going to cover that,
Yep.
pick a number, and you say whether the actual result is higher or lower than what you
Okay.
rolled. And so the deal is, if you get it right, the Peridot's worth 200, so he'll take
Yeah.
200 off the price.
Yep.
And if you're wrong, he'll only accept 50 off of it.
Okay.
$13.
Low.
It's a 9. Holds a hand out.
200 it is. I believe for what you wanted, that takes us to 400.
Yes, I believe it does. Yeah, right, so I'm kind of handing him the bow, like, trepidatiously.
He's very delicate. I mean, everything you've handed over to him, he's handled with care.
A beautiful piece.
Thank you. It's, quite special.
You'll be able to add this to the docket and have it all ready by the morning.
Yes, although I wouldn't add anything else for leaving in the morning.
Right.
Fair.
Just so you know, if there's any, sounds coming from it, it is safe to handle. It's just, got some spiritual energy. So please be
I'm
careful.
sure I can handle it.
Okay. Kind of giving the bow like a pat almost as though to comfort it as I
He's
leave.
taking it, he kind of puts it, slides it onto a little shelf there just inside the door.
Anything else?
I'll take out 200.
Yeah, who's giving him the
Yeah.
remaining 400 there?
Oh, I can just take it out of the till.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'll take it out of the. I'll take it out of the.
Take it
thing,
out of the big
so
boy?
From 700 to 300.
I'm actually already done with yours. Didn't take long.
Really?
Quicker than I thought. Sometimes it's quicker than you think.
Reaches back. I need you to roll
No!
a percentile check.
Oh my god!
To see the degree of success
No,
in his
no,
attempt
no,
to.
no.
Why doesn't he
Zeros
roll
is
the
100,
stupid
not
thing?
0?
0 is 000 is
Zero is
100. Yep.
That's good. We want this.
Come on, baby.
Dude,
What was it?
17.
17.
That's the third.
I rolled 18, then 17, then 17.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I have some bad news.
Oh my god.
I wasn't able to enhance it in the way that I thought, and I might have damaged it a bit. I'll give you half your gold back as an apology.
Is there anything else you can do? Anything else you can try?
Not for what I was hoping to do. My apology.
What's wrong with it? Will it work at all?
Yes.
So it used to be a D10 to try and get the spell slot back. It's now a D12. You have to roll a 12.
Okay, that's not terrible. That's not terrible.
I've never even gotten on that.
That's not
There
even-
was several
So, like,
tiers
whatever.
for his ability to improve. The only anywhere from 1 to 20, and it goes down.
Why would
to
you
a
tell him that, man?
Like it could have gone down to a D8 or a D6 if I'd rolled really high. Unreal. Unreal.
As you take it back, it's not like broken or
Yeah.
chipped or anything, but like it just looks a little rough, like as if it was sort of handled in
That's the one with the face, right?
the Mace of Menace. Yeah. So you can make a mark. It now has it, and he gives you half your money. You gave him 75.
75,
Yeah,
yeah.
so he gives you half the cost back for that.
I'd like to continue my work.
Sure, right. Thank you. Sorry, mate. You seem much more comfortable about the bow, to be
Better
fair.
at gambling than that.
Let's hope.
I'm a bit worried about it now, but I suppose there's nothing we can do.
Well, it seems like it's more straightforward. He's done it before with other bows.
Yeah, he gave no indication
No,
that
I
he
know.
could fail at that task.
Should we go back to our home for the evening?
Yeah, I suppose. Be right nice to sleep on a bed.
A little dejected as
Do
you
you-
guys are working your way back.
We don't know of anywhere we could have a bath, do we?
There was a pump in the backyard, like
Okay.
a water pump. It looked like a shared pump, like a number of the houses there kind of use it, but there was a
Okay,
shared pump in the backyard.
Oh, yeah, I might want to have a bit of a bath, but then I'm ready to retire. I don't know about you.
Have some drinks, play some cards, perhaps?
Yes, please.
Yeah,
I'd like
I still want to
finish
play.
that wine.
We don't have to take our clothes off if we don't want to, but
No, I suppose that wouldn't have helped us.
it's not. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, friend.
Sorry, Graven.
Are you able to
It's my luck.
send something to perhaps Josco this evening? Fantastic, fantastic.
Is there anything else you want to tell him? Ask if he's okay.
You guys walking back as you're having,
Yeah.
working your way back toward the house.
I had sent to him a few days ago after we heard tell of him and his battle,
Right.
and he was obviously he got the message and got back to me. He's fine, as far as I know.
Well, it's good to know.
Whether he's still in the Northeast, I don't know.
Right. Well, hopefully he'll know how to erase something. Brilliant. You got to practice. Figure out what you're gonna say.
My love, Grimari.
I think that deception off the bat is not the best idea, is it?
I don't know. It's certainly not the best idea to be honest. In the beginning. Hey, I'm the little what's your nickname? Ratfuck of Kira?
Do you know that? Do we
I
talk?
do.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty
can't
sure I
remember if
do.
we
I'm
told
not
anyone.
sure.
I didn't.
I didn't say.
I don't know. We'll say maybe not.
Sorry.
It's okay. We'll check.
If just think lying up front is we're going to have to eventually say who we are, and
I suppose.
Why?
The strategy I suppose would be to get his attention.
At this point, you're back to the house. Just as you're going to open the door, you return into the house.
Listen, I think that perhaps pretending to be Tessa Pleasance is wise at first because he's not going to respond if it's just me.
He's not going to respond at all. He can't respond.
I was hoping to maybe get him to send something to me. Send it. Attention.
But then he would be sending it to Tessa.
Right.
That's true, actually.
I know your
Hence-
inclination is always to lie at first, Erland, but try something else. Anything else.
tell him that what you know. He wouldn't have any reason to think that anybody in the fucking continent knows about all what you know.
So you take
The fact that you know the things that you know, it would be enough, I think, for him to want to speak with you.
Why?
He's looking for
I
help,
don't know,
isn't
he's
he?
a professor, he's a curious.
He may have
man,
already
suppose.
found help if he's with the Shade Assembly.
Perhaps.
Sure, be defeated right off the bat. Try.
I'm not defeated, I'm realistic. He might be with the Shade Assembly right now with no motivation to communicate unless it was for love.
And then what? Then you get him to believe that you're Tessa. Then what?
Open up,
pretend-
leverage the fact that I helped someone he loves.
Did you help her?
Yes, I removed a banded benefactor. That's significant.
Right.
These are terrible.
Just know that if you lay these seeds in a deceptive way, there's a good chance he will figure it out, and then he will close himself off completely.
There's a good chance he'll close himself off completely if he finds out it's me, period.
That's
Yes.
the problem.
Your
Well,
choice ultimately.
we'll see. I suppose we'll see.
The wine.
Yes. And I'm kind of grabbing the bottle of wine.
It's
now that
actually
we're
a
here.
fine ale. It's not wine.
Or a wine.
Can I check the GGG? Can I sort of set the GGG down?
You can.
It's empty.
It is empty.
Can I squeeze the smooth stone a couple times?
You can. You squeeze it, kind of wait for that sort of familiar response. Nothing happens. Stone doesn't respond.
I'll go into the other room and grab the lyre. And sort of sit down at the table.
Oh.
Shall we play some cards?
Kind of like nudging Graven. Like, you haven't seen this.
I'll grab the ale. I'll take a big swig.
Sitting around the table, sharing the ale.
And I will play a traditional folk song from Ka'ira, like a lively
Okay.
pub song.
Something a little strummy rather than plucky.
Yeah.
So Erland begins to play. Sort of quiet moment here. Anything you guys are sort of doing as Erland continues to sort of play?
We're just gonna start setting up. Shut the box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Erland starts to strum.
Wait, that's
You lose. You've not shut the box. The box is open.
You can say that you guys play.
Yeah.
What is it that we want from Grimari, ultimately?
What is it that you want from Grimari, ultimately?
Nothing anymore, other than he turned an old friend into a myconid.
information.
Information. How was he involved with the harvesting yard?
Why is he on the run?
Who's protecting him?
Where he is?
How
Why
can he
he-
fix you?
I don't know if that's possible anymore.
Worth a shot, though.
Perhaps. You recognize this one?
I feel like you've heard it before.
Actually, I do.
Josco was the one that told us that Grimari was looking for help from the Shade Assembly, yes? But he didn't have any more info about it, did he?
We also found a note in his desk.
Oh.
He was seeking assistance. Josco wasn't able to help him, but he gave him the names Valko Lavinia, and he gave him Winston Muldoon.
Winston? That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Well, name we'd never forget.
Could I send to Winston?
Oh! You held him in your hand? By the collar.
You know him.
Oh, you know. Yeah,
You know him.
you know a man when you almost kill him. That's when you truly know.
Perhaps I could send to Josco and to Winston.
What would you say?
I suppose I could ask him whether Grimari approached him and I don't know, try to impart somehow whose side we're on. I don't think he ever had any reason to realize that we were working with Jillian.
Does Winston know at all? Do we know what Winston is doing here? Involved in any way?
It was never clear. He lied to us when we first met him.
The only thing that makes me think you... Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No.
The only thing that makes me think he might be on, not our side necessarily, but anti... In
Harvesting
cahoots with
yard.
Grimari, I suppose, is he was at the Molifair wine tasting in the wine cellar, and
Right.
then a week or 3 or 4 later, however, when we got to the harvesting yard, the wine was tainted from the Molifair.
Also, someone still slid a GGG P216 to Samuel Precus.
You think that was Winston?
Who else in that room knows about that?
I don't know.
Marvin explained quite a bit of the GGG and the cipher that they are watching. He explained that, but he never was able to explain who wrote that down on the cocktail napkin.
Right. Right.
So if we can think of something to say to Winston that would entice him to respond.
Yeah.
I know, that's a tough one. That's a really tough one.
One might want to sleep on that, but yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, I'd want to do it before I sleep.
Can you ask?
Oh, I suppose.
Is there anything else we have to do today? Can you ask Josco?
I can ask Josco now, yes.
How does this work? It's called a mirrored inscription spell. I need to know how to write and erase.
Right. Sit down. Concentrate on my old pal Josco. Need mirrored inscription. Instructions. What inks or components? We head east from Kukati tomorrow. Is that 14? Will we see you?
How do you erase?
How to erase.
Page.
Page. After writing on.
Crushed it. Give me a percentile.
Oh,
King of the percentile.
I can't do that, man.
You knew that was coming.
I guess. If I get a 17.
This is
78.
Oh, there we go.
As you are sending the message, you wait for that sensation almost of feeling like something is maybe watching or hearing. That doesn't come through. However, you do also get the sense that, and it's felt this way as you've crept further and further east, that the closer you get to Finlock Forest and possibly the Chimera and the sort of your mission, the more it feels like someone almost like squeezing your head. Like it just feels like it's harder to get a message through. It goes through, you feel like it does, but you feel like the closer you get to this like final quarry, final prey, the harder and harder it is to like project sort of a message outward.
Fuck.
So you send that message through, a moment kind of passes, and you hear a response.
Usually there's like an item on the page you can touch to erase it. Don't bother me with this shit.
Josco.
Graven's got a big smile. It's probably one of the flowers. You just touch it after you're done and it erases itself.
Oh, cool.
Was there any detail on the on the GGGP 216?
No, but remember you can't, it's not that direction.
No, I know. I was just curious to see. So, like, this other side of this might not have the flowers.
Yes, it might not. Cool. Yes, yeah. The page where that you can write and project the writing has something on it that you can touch to sort of make the writing disappear.
Seems very simple.
Quill.
You gonna share first before you?
I don't know if I want to hear him share again.
I think I have to pretend to be Tessa Pleasance, otherwise he's not going to engage. Just at first.
I mean, you won't know for a long time whether he engages, I suppose.
Which flower do you think it is?
I don't know, try touching them all.
I want to watch this happen. It's cool.
You touch one flower, it just makes it
Maybe there's a trick flower.
If I let him know it's me, there is no reason for him to engage. There is perhaps a reason for him to even put our lives in danger. We don't know how embroiled in this he is.
Well, look, mate, you're the one who knows him, so if you think you know what you're going to say, then say
And if I'm the one who says that, hey, I helped your lover, he has no reason to believe me. I've lied to him before.
Does he even consider her his lover anymore? We know that she has cut him off.
Did she not tell you? What did she say about their relationship as it currently stands?
She hasn't spoken to him in a long time. He's in love with her. She wasn't.
Promising. I mean, do what you think, mate. I mean, I'm dying to see it happen.
People have their weaknesses.
And Erland is going to, with his left hand, start to write.
Oh my gosh.
What the fuck?
I'm going to write.
Oh my gosh.
I know it's been a long fucking time, but someone who called themselves Ratfuck removed my Band of the Benefactor for me. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but he said if you can cast Sending, he wants to fucking talk. You're a fine fucking lay, but always trouble. P.S. I'm celebrating with bad fucking whiskey, so hopefully you can read my fucking writing.
Finish that. Takes a little moment to write out each of the sentences. Page has your writing on it. Fits all within the confines. There's no indication of anything.
I suppose let it sit for maybe even the night.
I really want to see which flower erases it, but definitely let it sit.
Just let him discover it.
Thank you.
Anything else last minute things to accomplish before people find a bed?
Erland's gonna go up to the plant on the windowsill.
Okay.
And, what are my three choices?
Oh, sorry.
The day that you activate it, it doesn't seem like you could drop it. You have to wait till the next day.
Blue plant.
to use one of the features. Fuck.
Orba's gonna take a bath. Have a little prayer?
You head out
Yeah,
back
I'm
for a moment
gonna
when you walk
head
up.
out
There's
back
like
to-
a pump a little bit. There's like a bucket out there that
Yeah.
you can sort of pour the water
Wash up a
into.
bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try sending
Okay.
to Winston.
Oh my god!
Perhaps we've been wrongfully at odds. We aid Jillian in her quest. Heading to Finlock next. The mortal makes the divine. Do I know that? We could use help.
Give me a percentile.
Oh my god!
Come the fuck home.
76.
One again.
So did I.
So did I. I was actually anticipating an explosion.
Once again, sort of focusing very in the stillness of this sort of house that you're in here, a quiet moment alone, you're able to sort of clear your mind and just project those thoughts to the man that you're trying to reach. You feel no such sort of watching over your shoulder
That's great.
as the message
Holy
goes
shit.
out,
That's huge.
and a moment passes, and you hear a response.
Fuck. Shit.
What's wrong?
What?
Do I get the sense? Can somebody fake like that? Those were words, right?
Yeah, like a sort of gasp of exasperation. Yeah, that would
Can I? Does it seem real?
give me an insight.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's gonna be difficult to tell. just
Yeah.
the use of sending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like telekinetic. We don't hear him saying messages, correct?
I think he.
I know we don't
message and
respond, but-
sending are a little different. I do think he has to.
It's okay. I'm just curious.
Send a short message. The creature hears it in their mind. No, I think you do have to say it, like at least
Aloud.
quietly,
Okay.
aloud, and then it projects into their mind, and when they respond, he only hears it in his mind. So no
Right,
one
but
would
they
hear the
also have
response.
to audibly say it back.
Can answer in a like manner. No, they can answer in a like manner, like telepathically.
Okay.
Yes.
8. I rolled
8.
8.
Yeah. It's impossible to tell, over the use of sending. So.
I tried sending to Winston,
Okay.
asking for help, and all I got back was a gasp or a groan, some kind of,
Fuck's sake.
whether he was dying or. I can't tell if maybe it was a ruse, maybe it was fake, but I don't have the energy to do it again tonight to test it.
Was it like a gag? Like as if he was bound, or was it like
No, it was like
lifeless?
like a clinging onto life kind
Oh,
of
no.
If he was
battle.
dead, you would know he was dead, or you would.
The spell would just fail.
It would.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't hear a response of any
Yeah.
kind.
The fact that I got something back means that he's alive in this moment, but it felt like he was hanging on.
He's an operative, right? Perhaps he's
At least maybe a former one. We don't know if he's
Vulture.
current.
Yeah.
Right. So
Perhaps,
former.
Perhaps.
Vulture, was that was his name? Yes.
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 Yes. He's
Yes.
no longer one.
So that means he's no longer one
Could
because
he
otherwise.
perhaps be at the Shade Assembly right now, being kept alive?
Maybe the half orc got to him.
Fuck's sake. Well, there's nothing we can do for him here. We don't know where he is.
I can't. There's no. He'd have to tell me where he was. I don't get any sense.
The spell itself does not let you indicate where the person is.
Well,
Suppose there's nothing else we can do.
no.
Fuck's sake.
Tomorrow I could try sending to somebody else that might be near him. I could inform Jillian or.
I suppose.
Thank you for trying.
Yeah.
Worth
Thank
a
you,
shot.
yes.
Worth a shot.
I will say, I feel like I've been lucky on these last two to even get the message through. The closer we get to the east, the more I feel the energies of that narrow. Like I'm sending it through ever-tightening tube that might get cut off.
Okay. That's good to know, I suppose. So any messages we need to send them now.
Sooner rather than later.
Right, okay.
But it has to be tomorrow.
Yeah, and again, it didn't feel like it was shut off completely.
Yeah.
Just that
Yeah.
A, it might increase the chance of it not going through, or B, increasing the chance that if it does go through, that it's overheard. Yeah, I think you just kind of get that.
Enjoy your one night of domesticity, I suppose.
I suppose. Yes.
Yeah, Erland's gonna stay up for a little bit, sort of lightly pluck.
Safira's like lounging and drinking.
Night gets later and later.
You need to do some breathing exercise. While
Sure.
we're just hanging out.
You may do so. Yes. Gets a little darker outside. You hear people returning to their homes. Some of the closing of those thin wooden doors along the boardwalk. Some people humming and singing as they go back home, returning from Manola's little fish stand down there by the docks. People start to turn in one at a time. Some people heading up to the attic where the straw cots are, laying down to rest.
Should we play one of the games for who gets the bedroom?
Yeah.
It's like roll a
Just roll a
d20. Yeah,
D20.
like
Sure.
Ooh.
Fuck you. Of course you
Oh.
roll well on this
I'm
arbitrary.
doing my
Just a
breathing
flat
exercises.
d20?
Yeah.
What are you?
777 is 21.
No. Nuh-uh. What'd you get?
Sweet.
What am I rolling here? Sorry, what do I
Just
need?
a straight
D20.
d20.
Who
Who
gets
gets
the bed?
the good bed? The fluffy feather bed?
17.
19.
19.
Oh.
15.
Roll again.
Wait, what did you get?
15.
Oh,
Oh,
19.
Graven, you want to cuddle?
11.
6.
Oh, Graven gets the big bed.
Well earned, well earned.
Fun in the hay, fuckers.
The straw cots are not uncomfortable, but a step down from the feather mattress of the lower bedroom. And as they drift off to sleep and dream upon the following day, and what comes for us next, that's where we're going to end tonight's episode.
We're all beefed up, man. I started the episode with 48 HP, and now I have 54. And that's not even my full capacity.
54 HP?
She got extra HP
I got
for...
plus 6 for
Oh yeah, because you got the extra constitution.
Yeah,
You
so
too,
now my
right?
max
44
is
now, yeah.
6.
Oh my god, I gotta change all of our fucking cards every
Well,
week.
now we don't have to make them right before the stream. I can help with those.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Wow. Thank you.
As we continue to work our way through Kukati Cove and all of its eccentric residents therein.
When was the last time we didn't almost
Almost
die?
died.
Hard to remember.
And people have to, you guys have some time to think about what you want to buy from Phaedra Spooner. Get to pick up your stuff from Cody Cheeks.
And we're off.
Got a couple nice
Oh my
items.
god, we've got some cool
Fuck
shit
my
from
man.
Cody
Do you
Cheeks.
want to know?
No.
Oh, don't do
Do you want to know?
Yeah.
Oh no.
So a
This
roll
is
of 1 to
terrible.
20, the die becomes a D12.
Yup.
On a roll of 20 to 80, the die becomes a D8 instead of a D10.
Oh my
And on a roll of 80 to 100, it becomes a D6
Oh,
instead of a D10.
For people at home who didn't get to see his 2 percentile rolls before the show,
They were bad.
one
were-
18
And another 17.
and another 17.
Real quick, some people were asking who Winston was because that was.
Oh
was
my
a
god.
while.
Oh yeah, I threw in the chat, but
Oh, you did throw it in the
well,
chat?
you never know. Go ahead.
I don't really remember.
He's
He
a-
was an old. He was a former operative, similar to
Shade
Jillian.
The operatives work out of the Shade Assembly, which is where we're headed.
We met him in
In
like
the
the
Finlock
first. Was that Corn to Secrecy or the
Yes.
very first chapter?
It was
No, that was
Corn to
that was Corn to
Secrecy.
Secrecy.
Corn to Secrecy, like the first full chapter on YouTube.
Masquerading as a weak old man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like Graven intimidated him. He was involved in opening up that portal. Wasn't
Yeah, he was involved in the portal.
The
that was
Knoll
opened up
attack,
the-
and then he was also the Knoll attack at the wine.
At the Mollifer
So
wine
in
tasting.
short, for the first few days of our travels,
We thought he was BBEG.
he was like
Yeah.
the bad guy. He was
Yeah.
following us around, and then we
Now
found
you've
out-
seen some evidence that perhaps he was actually tampering with the harvesting yard, that
Yeah.
he was maybe not on the side of those involved in the harvesting.
And we never had a conversation with him past that first one where
After
he lied.
finding
Yeah.
out,
And he never saw Jillian with us, so there's just a reason to believe that we actually
Perhaps
weren't.
your intentions were somewhat aligned and they just didn't know it at the time.
Maybe he's just like having one of those like choking wings.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just having like a really
You just
bad
caught him in that one moment. at
Control it.
7 p.m.
He was with
Tuesday.
cheeks.
Oh,
7 p.m.
No, he's
my
he's at the place with the Mr. Two.
Berries.
Yeah, reciprocity.
The reciprocity.
Oh my god. And then later he's like,
Call me back later.
I'm just gonna go ahead and thank some
Please,
people
please
before
do,
we get
please
too
do.
carried away. Jeremiah did 100 bits, Sally Slater did 100 bits, the Tattooed Muscle Bull did 1,000 bits, Sally Slater did another 100 bits, Pokadoka gifted a sub, Jack Rowe Power gave out 10 community subs, Sally Slater did 100 bits, Tattooed Muscle Bull with another 1,000 bits, Wild Ray Popsicle with 1,000 bits, GF Powers with 100 bits, an anonymous gifter, we love you too, Ali Slayer did 200 bits, Jack Rowe Power 10 community subs,
Oh
and
my
Platitudinous
gosh.
Platypus gifted a sub.
Platitudinous platypus.
Stop!
We had a little of a
Two of my favorite
mini
words.
town relaxation episode before we pick it up and,
how was
and
that?
start
Oh my
our
God.
journey. Yeah, I
Start moving to Finlock next.
moving to
So-
Finland for us.
God!
But a lot of big pile of gold, some great items.
Yeah.
I've been holding on to those plants forever.
The number of times you were like, you feel a pull, and I'm like, not right now, man.
Well, the last time you went to touch it, and I was like, it feels like you'd have to like take on
fine,
sepsis, and you were
thanks.
like, I don't want to. take
Yeah.
I'm about to take a
So we had to
snooze.
kind of like shock it into sort of activation there with his septic
Fucking
energy.
awesome.
The plant's very, very useful.
That's huge. So I have to roll a 12 now to get that spell.
Do it right now.
8.
No spells.
If you'd had a D8.
If you had a D8 though.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
We love being here and telling stories with you guys. You guys are the best audience in the world. We can't wait to continue. Same time next week as usual.
Go into our
See you in
Discord,
the
yeah,
where I
go-
believe Pokadoka's creating a chain right now, where you can
please
talk.
do.
No spoiler like alerts necessary. It's a safe
For the
space for the
episode-specific
spoils.
chat.
For this specific episode. I'm gonna put that as soon as I remember where I put that on my thing here. Boom! It's in the chat. Have at it, folks.
Thank you guys. We'll talk to you there. Have a great night. We'll see you next week.
See you later.
Oh.
See you later, babies. Yay.
My God.